All right. Benter. Yo, how did I just get all the way uncomfortable? I know how, because I got some fucking hand sanitizer. Hey, everybody. Banter. Here we go. There's no limits. What is the one superpower that you wish you could have?
Giovanni just asked me this question yesterday.
I believe it.
It was superhuman strength.
Superhuman strength?
That's it.
Really? Why?
There's a part of me, that that has a fascination with being a brute.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when he said it to me initially, I was thinking about all of these different types of, usually when you think about that question, you try to think about the most elite power that can like outshine all other powers. Like I feel like the mortal person who I am, like I would say, the mortal person that I am, where I have like this fascination with guys who like really are all about, you know what I mean, just strength. So if I would be able to achieve that, I think about all of the possibilities that could.
Would you still want to be like skinny like how you are? Well, you're not really skinny, but
just it'd be like a humble type of thing. So like there's this fascination I have like with like being able to, like pick something up like heavy as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at work, I shout out to JJ. I asked JJ like, yo, you could go put the speakers over there, this, that, put the monitors over there, and he take pride in it. I see him like all right, he picked both of the speakers up type of shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll be doing that shit.
So, like, a piece of me will want that. Like, so I would say out of everything, any power that I could choose, whether it be telekinesis and all of these different types of things, I would choose brute superhuman strength.
Final question. If you would possess that power, what's the first thing you're doing?
I'm making money off of it. Yo, really, when he said, I didn't go down that lane with Giovanni, but that's literally the thing. Like to be some type of...
What would you do? Like be a circus freak or some shit?
That was the exact words I thought. Like a circus freak type of joint. It's just your headphones, Gigi. And like a circus freak type of person.
I don't know what's happening. I was like, it's crazy.
Like a circus freak type of guy. Or what? We don't need a circus. Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like just going on Instagram, bending horseshoes.
I pick things up and put them down.
Yeah, just doing wild shit. Picking up.
Why not rob a bank?
No, like just. Low key, I would actually be a bad guy because I was thinking about like breaking down skyscrapers and shit. Like just putting my bare fingers into a skyscraper. And
Yo, you
like,
are a cartoon. Yo,
putting
you
my
a
bare
fool.
fingers into the frame of a skyscraper.
This camera zooms in on his fingers.
Yeah. Crumble the steel beams inside of a skyscraper and just move that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That is, yo. If I had a superpower, it is definitely super speed. Like, definitely. Because all the shit that you could do with super strength, imagine having super speed, bro.
I have a question for you with that, though.
Okay.
Did
Yes,
you
I'm
think
robbing
about
banks.
the possibilities of what you could do with speed by watching Flash?
Of course.
Okay. It's all like
Of course.
how he vibrated and shit.
Yes,
like,
this nigga does everything with that shit.
It's a lot of shit
You can walk on water.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm doing super speed.
And the invisibility type of shit.
And yes, I'm robbing banks. They would never know. They would never know. How would they know? You can't see me.
Yo, the thing is, you could literally go into any store and purchase anything with the money they have in the
Cash register.
in the cash register.
Just rob
Put that
this shit and
back.
come back.
You don't have to look like you robbing anybody. Like that straight up robbing. Like,
It's very fucking true.
how much for this Gucci belt, yo?
See, I'm robbing niggas the smart way.
How?
ATMs. Like, just wait for niggas to take out money from the ATM real quick.
They never know.
They'll never know. You'll
never
never
I
know.
like your style, yo.
I'm not going full blown into a bank saying give me your money, or even like trying to speed through that shit and take shit because that shit is still marked.
True.
Gotta be smart about these things, people. I thought about this. So after I rob the banks, well, just rob people in general, I'm gonna get every degree under the sun and be deemed the smartest person in the world.
Okay, so when you say get the degree, like, how do you speed getting a degree?
Because it's easy, just reading shit mad fast. I'm fast now.
Yeah, but even
I
if you're
learn shit at a
fast,
very fast rate.
So the semester goes fast for you too? Like, how do you skip? Do you skip a grade?
I would say that I've learned this shit so fast that you should just let me pass this class.
Oh, you
automatically.
should, but the process is that you would have to still go to school for.
Why
the
you
same amount
did
of
not
time.
have to do that?
It just everything made sense up until that point. Everything. I was with you. I thought that was an amazing gift, but when you said you would start getting degrees, I'm like, it's gonna still take you years. You might know it, but you won't get the certification. That's how they gonna get their money. It's capitalist country we live in, right?
What is your power?
So I was torn. Between teleportation and
Super speed just to say something.
being able to do something once and be the best at it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if I was taught coding once I read a book about it, or I do it one time.
Like, if you read Coding for Dummies, then you just an expert coder.
I wouldn't read that book, but hypothetically speaking, yes. Or even if I did a course, I just have to do the even if it's just trying it. Once I try it, I'm then a professional at it.
That's if you talk about like rogue superpowers where like she touch you and she absorbs powers.
No,
You're talking about
knowledge. I mean, like, I would.
Yeah, that is the worst superpower I've ever heard in my
I can
life.
do anything. Think about it. Like, I can like literally read a book about stocks and then be like the best person to do with stocks.
Super speed, I'm reading it too.
Okay, you can read it. That's fine.
And I know it.
But now I've also mastered it. And you read it. I only had to read it one time.
Only had to read it one time too.
No, that's different. You just reading one book doesn't make you a professional at anything. That just means you just have content. Now you have to like still go. You have to try things. You just have to read a lot of books. We may do the same thing. You may have to read more
So
books
going
than
back
me.
to my original scenario where if you read Coding for Dummies, you're an expert at coding.
But that's what I'm saying is that like I wouldn't read that book, but yes. So I can even like try.
But it
I
wouldn't
can
matter
make
the
a
book.
beat. Yes, but for you it's different. You need to just because you read a book.
I get
fast,
you. Understand
Okay,
about
so
super
for
speed.
me, like I'll even give you an example. Like I can work on a beat with G. Once I work on that beat with G, I'm now the greatest producer of all time.
But what if he just let you sit there and watch?
That's all I need to do.
But can you tear the book in half?
No. Yes, I can. Page by page. Page by page. I can. And page by page. If I take each page, I can cut it in half.
Can you take every page and tear that shit?
Yo.
But I'm torn because I might want to teleport. Too. But I think the idea that
I need to go back to this once and done type shit.
Okay.
Because it makes no sense to me.
Okay.
So if you are sitting there watching Mr. Rent Money make a beat,
Yeah.
right? You just watched him complete a full beat.
Yes.
Forget a full beat. He started something and didn't finish it. You now an expert at it?
Yes, because he explained to me how he did it.
He don't talk to you at all.
He doesn't. No, I actually have to do it. I have to either be instructed, do it, or read it. So I actually I have to learn, but I don't have to do anything else. Like I literally.
So if I say to you once,
yeah, listening.
an audio unit is X, Y, and Z. Now you're an expert on audio.
Yes. My mind now just taps into this whole little cabinet thing that of all these information.
What would you call that power? I don't like that power.
One of the things that you call, that's like a god power if you know everything.
It's not that I would know everything, but if I would try it, I would know. Like if I tried that guitar, is that a guitar or bass? Okay, that if I picked up that bass,
so it is a guitar.
Like it is a guitar.
yeah, but I understand that there's differences, right? Like if I went and you taught me the chords,
Now you know that shit.
now I know how to play the guitar.
If I taught you one chord, if I said this is an F chord,
Yeah.
that's a bass. If I told you this is a F, this is where the F is on the first fret on the E string, now you know the entire bass.
She's gonna be playing that F chord all
No,
day.
I would know how to play the F chord. I would perfect the F chord because at that point.
Yeah, now the power's getting real stupid. Now the power's getting dumb.
Why?
Because if you tell that, if you play the F chord on the E string,
I can play the
and now
shit
you
out
know
of
how to
this
play
F
the
chord.
shit out of the whole shit,
Yeah, but why would I want to do that?
why wouldn't you? Why
Because
would you
if-
only want to perfect the F note?
No, but that's what I'm saying is that like if I know that my skill set is once someone teaches me these chords and I know it, why am I gonna say just teach me the F chord?
That's not a superpower. That happens today.
What? I'm giving you an example.
Correct.
Of that.
Okay, maybe I'm not understanding the example,
Okay.
right? If you pick up this bass guitar
Yes.
and we say, Gigi, here is the F note
Yeah.
on the first fret of the E string.
Okay.
Now that you know that one thing about this bass, you are able to play whatever you want now.
No, you didn't even teach me the basis of it.
Okay.
The thing is that like I would have to know, like I would try it. I don't know how that doesn't make any sense to you.
I understand it.
Like
Explain it.
I tried to make that the
Sam.
simplest thing, but I'm also giving you the idea that I can watch a YouTube video. I can watch a YouTube video about making, I don't know, a whole meal.
There's no logic to this power.
Why is there no logic to the power?
Because let's say you watch the YouTube video, and the YouTube video is of the bass, and they only teach you one note.
Why am I watching that YouTube video?
You just said a YouTube video.
No, but why am I choosing that one in specific? Like, well, that's stupid.
So like if there's a situation where they needed to call Gigi, hey, we need this type of information, or you need to see those codes or something. You need to see a specific amount of numbers that the average person, nobody would be able to remember outside of Gigi, who has this superhero power that allows her to remember anything, right?
It's not
Remember
about
anything?
remembering anything. It's becoming a professional. Like, okay, like even starting a
Can I give you another scenario?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sticking with the guitar because I think an instrument is the best way I'm gonna understand this shit.
Okay.
You go on YouTube and find the basics of bass guitar. It's
Yes.
a 10-minute video that gives you the basic instructions
Yes.
of how to play a bass guitar.
Yeah.
After you watch that 10-minute video, your mind is going to open and expand. So now, when you pick up a bass guitar, you can play the most complicated bass line of all time.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So, it depends on what you read or consume. Because what if you, so now let's take it to coding.
Okay.
Let's say you read the wrong book about coding.
How do you read a wrong book around coding?
People write wrong information all the time.
I would still know the basics.
I say you cut out the middleman and just be like, hey, anything that I put my hands on,
Yeah.
I'm able to use at a master level. Cut out the middleman. Why
Oh, you don't want me to be taught? I like the whole process of being taught. It gets me
Why?
excited.
It's a middleman.
All right, so you're saying that like I just have to touch it
Anything,
and then
touch
I
it.
can now
Now I
be.
know.
Oh, you know what? I like that.
Yeah,
touched a
because
lot
your
of
superpower
things.
was stupid.
It wasn't stupid. I don't think it was stupid. I think doing things really fast is stupid.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't.
Well,
You never had a quickie?
Yeah, but that wasn't always that fun. And quickies don't have to be fast. It just has to be in the right amount of time.
It's in the word quick. It's implied.
No, it's
You don't
different.
want to go down the quickie route with me.
It's different. Quickie it's about time. Doesn't have to be about
race,
strokes.
I'm at that pace for real. Like,
No, don't do it like that.
Sometimes it's warranted.
No, it's not the same. Quickies is about time. It's not about you don't have to pump fast.
I don't even do. The funny thing is, I don't even need to do nothing really fast. If I really want to, people talk about a minute. Man, if I really want to, like,
Yeah, I know
go
it's
out-
not about pumping fast. I'm just saying, like, it's still a quickie. It's shorter than your usual sex time.
Yeah, but you in my mind, when you're saying that, you're saying that you're like pumping, like you're like.
No, I'm not being a
jackrabbit.
flash in a vagina.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's what I'm talking about. If you saying quickie,
that's how
No!
when
I'm
you
thinking
kind of
about
perceive it.
it.
I'm just like, what are you doing? Relax.
No.
If we don't have that much time, then let's not do it.
That sounds painful.
sneaky cheeks,
Pain is pleasure sometimes,
pressure bust pipes.
Right, that was somebody's album.
and you look like you like the rough tag.
All right.
Oh God.
I had to walk up 9 flights of stairs. That shit was not gonna be long today. Pause. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome to Convo 59. 59. We're gonna go 59. Yo, you
It's 60.
60, right?
this 60?
Yeah,
This is 60.
it's 60, Greg.
Welcome to Convo 60 of Just a Conversation with Greg, Mr. Rent Money, and Gigi. I am your host with the most, Greg. And I am joined by my brother, Mr. Rent Money. Mr. Rent Money, how's it going?
Hey man, I'm energized. I'm thrived, man. I feel great. I really do. I'm not saying that in a cliche manner. I feel great. I'm
Dope.
glad to see y'all. I was out, but now I'm back. We here.
We here, and we are a triangle. No, we're square because it's 4 of us. Also joined by my sister, Gigi. How's it going, Gigi?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing well. This week seemed a little long for me though. I was doing a lot. I wasn't at home as much as they really be talking at the end. We gotta fix that. I don't know what they're saying.
You like when people talk back to you, so there you go.
Okay. Yeah, like I wasn't really home as much as I wanted to be. So I think maybe that's what made it seem so long. However, I recorded with Shan. Shout outs to her. Had a great time with that. Learned a lot of things by hydrating your kitty cat, and keeping it clean. So shout outs to that episode. I had a really great time.
Vagina health is real.
Yes, it is. And as long as you love your kitty, your partner will love it too. And so I had a really great time with that. There were moments where I wanted to be in places that I couldn't. It made me feel some type of way. However, I think there's a purpose for everything. So I'm just happy to be here. I missed you guys last week. I was even a little in my feelings because I was just like, I missed my guys. But we back at it. So.
Back at it again. Back at it again. Back.
No. And how are you, Greg?
Greg is good. Greg is great. Greg is fine. I'm learning to say that. Just learn to be honest. 2 things I'm learning. 2 things. 1, I'm learning to be honest with people. Greg is Greg is not okay, but he's fine. And 2, I'm just not gonna stress this year. It's no point. It's no point in stressing. I'm just gonna, let things be the way they be. If they're gonna fall the way they're gonna fall, or they're gonna stay up. It's up to them. So, yeah, I'm alright.
Shout out to you, Greg.
Shout outs to me for real. I'm gonna play my tag again.
I like that.
So, you want to get some topics?
Sure.
Stop.
Oh my God.
We're also joined by our engineer, my brother Blaze. Shout out to Blaze making the sound good.
Acknowledge me.
Blaze.
How are you?
Okay, no.
We don't care how
he's great.
doing. Oh, you're telling us how that. He's
I'm
great.
going to tell you. I'm gonna be him for you. He's great. And he's running
You
our
good?
sound. See,
Good.
thumbs up, great.
Blaze
So-
is doing great.
Yeah.
He always look at him. Look at him. If the audience could see him, they would say that he's great too.
That's good. Can y'all see him, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, we see
Oh, shit. Did y'all hear that?
I'm not. Okay.
Let's jump into some topics. We'll go first. Who wants to start?
Potential World War III?
Ooh, y'all went right into that.
You want to start
So
there?
it's
we
gonna
can
be
start there. All right, we
Nah,
going.
I'm just saying.
I
No, we
you
can start
said it
there.
now.
So
That's fine.
we've been having this conversation frequently throughout the group chat about the rumblings of a potential war, Civil War, World War III type of thing, and there was at a point where it was just people making speculations, but now it's actually there's logic behind people having some type of sheer speculation about a potential war. What do you guys think about that? When I say that, I already know your angle. You believe that it's virtually impossible to have a war where anyone comes in the backyard of America, and everyone else in the group chat feels like there's definitely even a possibility. Like you don't believe like it could even happen.
I'm going to answer this question, but I really need to hear. You think it's going to happen?
I do.
Can we
believe
put some time to this?
I do believe time to this.
Like, can we put like a time frame?
How can anyone put a time on when someone is gonna?
Do you believe you're going to be alive for a war, for World War III?
I do.
You do.
We were alive during.
You was not alive during World War II.
No, I didn't say we were.
The last
alive
war we was alive for, we was only alive for Afghanistan. And no,
Okay.
No, we
That's
were not alive for now.
then we wasn't. We was only alive for Afghanistan.
That's the one that I was referencing to, Greg. Okay, so we were alive for a war,
Okay.
and you think it's nothing because it wasn't here.
Yes.
The idea is that like the idea that that's why America always tries to go over there so they don't come over here. There's a possibility that they could come over here, Greg.
I know they blew up our
But they're
towers.
here. They are here right now.
They're among us.
Having meetings amongst us.
Okay. I got you. I got you. I just want to know. You believe this is happening
I believe that.
in your lifetime? Like, do you believe a World War III? Are we going with the term World War III?
No, I can't.
I wouldn't
Just
either.
just some type of war. Like
Okay.
you're saying, it's out of the window for it being.
And yes, I don't believe, but you believe that we're going to go into a physical war. Physical meaning, like niggas
Look out the
are
window.
going to sign, like a draft is going. Not even a draft. Niggas sign up for the army and they're going to send
But
niggas
why do you always
overseas.
assume like now like that's something that's needed when we have so many people already enlisted? The reason why we did draft is because no one would just be like, "Hey, I want to sign up to be in the war." We now actually have people that proactively do this.
I understand. That's why I said.
I don't want you to always bring up the idea that because we don't have a draft, we're not going into war. We literally have active bases.
I said, forget the draft. I just said, do you think we're going to send people overseas?
We've always sent people overseas. That's what we do.
That's people's job. That is people's jobs.
Yes.
I understand that. I'm saying, do you think? Let's think of dropping a bomb on Japan, like an atomic bomb on Japan from World War II. Do you think something like that is going to happen? Do you think the United States is proactively going to go into another country and say, war, invade, fuck y'all?
We just let niggas know we are manipulating weather for warfare.
Okay.
Why do you think, I think that the idea when you think about war, you're going back in the days when you see people suited up with their guns in their hands and they're lining up and they're ready about to go shoot each other and everybody just lines up. No, we've literally seen how time has evolved.
Stop.
Don't tell me to stop. I'm talking, Craig.
No, because that's exactly what I was saying. I said, if you go back to my messages, I've said, we are going to go into some type of war. We're not going into a physical gun pow war.
And that's what we're saying.
Yeah,
And I'm saying no, that's not going to happen.
We know that. But Gigi was
because she literally
I'm
just
telling you
said
that there's different ways. Why don't the idea that they even have people, Russia having people going to the borders? Listen, they're actually bringing people, soldiers, to the border. What do you think that means, Greg? It's going to get physical.
it's not.
You ever heard someone say, like, just think about it. Take war out of it. If someone hits you, your natural reaction
To hit back.
is to hit back.
Mm-hmm.
We are, and I say we loosely, I mean American soldiers are in another country killing people's wives, children's, husbands. There has to be a get back. There will be a get back. Somebody's dog has to get killed on the account of a cat being killed.
Understand?
And you believe that automatically the only way there would be a return is on the internet.
Yes, I believe in digital warfare. I believe in a quote unquote
People,
another-
y'all hear this?
What do you think they were doing in Afghanistan?
They was just in there typing shit.
So no.
They were setting up the Wi-Fi.
No. Let me be very clear about this. Let me be super duper clear. Since Barack Obama has said we're going to pull our troops out of Afghanistan, there has been no bloodshed from America.
That we know about, Greg.
Okay, that we know about. Cool. You're right. We don't. There's a lot of things we don't know.
They just told us they creating weathers and shit.
You're right. But I'm saying what we know, what is, I guess, public knowledge. Nothing is going on. They send people to borders every day as a scare tactic just to show force, and nothing happens.
People are dying. People are dying, Greg.
People die every day. You're right.
No, but you're saying that I said that specifically because you just now said that nothing is happening.
You know this for fact. Like there's
Yes.
Okay. I'm just
people are women. I just said women, children, husbands.
When was the last time this happened?
This is happening. They're
When
not
was
going
it
over there playing pity pack.
understand
They're
that.
putting little Molotov cocktails, like little. I've heard stories of real life soldiers who've said this. Who they had the choice between their life and killing a child with a Molotov cocktail in their hand.
I know that.
So if you just literally
I said when has that happened recently?
I'm not speaking when I was 3 years old, Greg. I'm speaking about when I was
my thing is
recent
so
years.
this is my thing, right? What you're saying may be true, and this is why it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy theory because there is no hard evidence, facts, no proof, nothing reported on the news that we are in these countries and killing people.
That's all you need.
Because
something to be on the news,
but
Greg.
let me finish. Because when we talk about war, when we talk about the wars that we have seen, we saw the war in Afghanistan. When Vietnam was happening, we saw the propaganda.
What did we see?
They actively was telling us we are at war. We are at war.
What did you see?
Okay, can I just?
Our fucking president came on the news and said we are at war.
What? They're saying that right now.
No,
Greg.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
Mr. RENTMONEY, they're not saying. No, Biden has not come on TV and say we are at war. Trump did not come on TV and say we are currently at war with X, Y, and Z. Show me a clip where they said that.
Wait, so I just want to just clarify. I have two things to say. One, so you need the president to tell you that we're at war to know that
Yes.
you're at war? Okay. I want you
He's
to know
the commander-in-chief.
Okay, well, I'm happy that you think that that's how the government works. I get what you're saying. I just need you to know that there are wars going on, that because it may not technically really affect us, but we're in the
But do
back
you
end.
realize I said I do believe that?
All right, but I'm gonna also then follow up in regards to what's happening. So I'm reading an article already that is on Reuters where New Zealand urges its citizens in Ukraine to leave immediately, and that's because there is a tension between Russia and Ukraine right now. So there is something happening now. Knowing that, and you understand how America works, is that we always try to look out for the little niggas. And with that being said, so when you take two superpowers, what do you think happens?
Russia has rigged both of our last elections, and we've done nothing to them.
Okay, but this time
That's an act of war. That is a clear-cut act of war, and we've done nothing.
Okay, so I need you to say that it's an act of war if you don't understand the players already in this. Okay, so allegedly the idea that our
Allegedly, they rigged our wars. I'm sorry.
Previously the president that we had was technically in cahoots. So it wasn't like it was really a threat. It was a plan. So it didn't really in the scheme of things, it wasn't something that was done alone, allegedly. Mm-hmm. Now your boy not there no more. It's some other nigga that you don't fuck with. Mm-hmm. So things are different.
So I just want to. You've just said that Donald Trump was allegedly in cahoots with Vladimir Putin to rig the election for him to get elected. Allegedly, right? Allegedly.
Continue.
Right? So, because our president went along with it, that's not a war.
Okay.
Right? Right? Did the president say we was at war with Russia for rigging our election?
No.
Okay. Joseph R. Biden. He is again, Russia is allegedly rigging our elections. Did Joseph Biden say we was going to war with Russia for rigging our elections? Did Joe Biden say we're going to war?
I haven't heard him say anything at all, girl.
That's just my point.
But that's what I'm saying is that I need you to take away
Bill
from the
Clinton
idea.
said we're going to war. Bush said we're going to war.
Why doesn't history show you that unless there is a moment where that makes sense to your audience, then you say it? But we're literally just came from a lockdown, and we literally just came from the Capitol being invaded. Why do you think saying that we're going to war is something that America wants to hear?
Because fear tactics is what they do to control America.
Okay, but why do you think telling us that we're going to war is going to make us be excited about it?
It's not.
There's no support that we have at this moment in time to tell us that we're going to war.
One, there's always going to be support for war. Always. One. That's one. Two, it's because there's no war happening.
Okay.
There's no public war happening. Let me make sure I make that clear. There's no public war happening.
So when you think about public war, I need you to think the war already has happened by the time it's public. It's not like, oh, this is happening. And by the time we find out this is happening.
For sure.
People was already out there. Bombs was already, things were already happening. So when you keep saying public, I need you to understand that they are literally letting us know in the background. And I think that you are underestimating the idea that America tells us everything.
I'm not.
If we literally go and we look at other countries' news and we actually see what's happening or how it's affecting us, that's where we really get the real news.
We look like the bad guy. We are the bad guys, actually. The way we look at all of these.
Do you read
Time out. How can now? This is where everybody lose me, and this is how can you trust? You trust another country's news versus your own country. And I'm not saying that the United States tells the truth, but I'm just saying, how can you
if
trust
you're not
that?
saying that,
but
then
I'm
what
saying,
are you saying?
How can my thing is what is your why do you believe them so much than rather you believe in your own country?
Because
that's like, hold on, let me finish. That's like you believe in someone
Ask
who's
me a
just,
question and then
no, because I'm trying to give you a better example of it. It's like, how could you believe a surrogate mother versus your real mother? It's like, what? Like,
No,
what?
because
What
this
news?
is not my real mother.
But who?
My real
But how? But
mother is
who
my
is to
real
say
mother.
that the Islamic news is more credible than CNN?
Because if you just now said that, I'm not saying that America is always telling the truth. If you're not saying that America is always telling the truth, I know, contrary to America, my mother is not lying to me.
But as much as you can say, as much as we say that about American news, I'm pretty sure if you go to Pakistan, they'll say that they're lying too.
I'm not going.
Is that not a possibility?
The way from your perspective, you're saying that
He's not.
You
Okay.
From your perspective, you're saying that, and you've said this multiple times. I believe that the government wouldn't tell me anything to stray me away from the path that I'm like
Never
on
once
that.
said that.
Greg,
Bro, find it in the tape, because I will bet my life when I've never said some shit like that.
It's multiple times where you've said that on this very show. We have to go. Of course, we can't find it right now. Greg, we are being lied to daily.
Of course we are.
So do you, for the fact that you used my mom as a metaphor for America, that goes out the window.
Moms lie all the time.
My mother
Parents
doesn't
lie
lie
all the
My
time.
mother doesn't lie to me.
I hope she does it, but
My
I'm
mother
saying parents lie all the time.
In this event, you just now said my mother doesn't use fear to control me.
She's never done that, not once.
My mother doesn't use fear to control me.
She's never done that, not once
No.
in your whole life.
No.
Okay.
No. Even if let's just say my mother is human. That would be to say my mother is unfathomable. But at the scale that we're on, my mother's ultimately led me in a way that I can take the values that she's instilled into me to go forth.
But I just want you
to go forth with my life. But look, I can poke so many holes in the information that has been given to me on a daily basis from America that my best interest is not at hand. No. Even the fact that you brought to compare my mom to the way America's structure is. Come on now, like that doesn't
but just answer my
compare.
question. You realize that someone who lives in Pakistan, who watches the Pakistan news every day, feels the same way about their news and government, the same way that you feel about your news and government. So how are you to say that because you are hearing it from another country that is so much more truer than what you're hearing in your own country?
What I did say is that we look like the bad guys.
You didn't answer. You're not answering my question.
What I am doing is reiterating what I said. You said something about what I said.
But that's
about
not answering. But you're not answering my question.
Okay.
Is he answering my question? Am I crazy? Are you answering the question? Are you answering the question?
Yeah, I did.
How? How did you answer the question? If old boy in Pakistan feels the same way you feel about the Pakistan news, and he's saying they're telling me lies, they're telling us lies. It's not real. It's not real. Everything that they doing is not in the best interest of me.
Someone killed my child.
They're
Someone killed my mom.
reiterating your voice in their country, but you are saying because you have the knowledge of looking at their news.
I'm telling you, Greg, because an American soldier killed my child. An American soldier killed my mom.
But why?
The why is actually deeper than the soldiers that are actually there. They're only doing what they're told, like blindly. Whatever they're told, they have to do. So this agenda, when you say, yes, I believe that America uses fear. If you use fear, then that to have an ultimate agenda or push the soldiers to fight based off of whatever agenda, then that means that there are people who are going to be killed as casualties based off of another agenda that's being portrayed.
But you don't think that's happening in other countries?
I'm directly answering your question that you keep asking me to answer.
And I'm responding to you by asking you don't think that's happening in other countries. Let me tell you
that doesn't even though it does, that doesn't stray away from another country's view of us to say why we should get back. Why there should be get back.
So can I ask you a series of yes or no questions?
No.
Okay. Because that was the only way I'm gonna get to the point of this. Because
No.
it just makes no sense. The fact that yes, we understand, and I am in a wholehearted agreement that the United States government lies to us daily. I don't disagree with that at all. But you're not going to sit here and say that because we are in this country every day and we see CNN and we see Fox News and we see NBC that what someone is saying overseas, they're seeing the same thing just in their own country.
You're not well, that's not what I meant. So what I was saying is that there is things that are happening in other countries that we are not privy to because it's not provided to us. But there obviously are governments and our executives are aware of what's happening over there. And unless we actually proactively know, we don't know that there are actually things happening around us that we may even be involved in because it's not provided to us proactively. I'm not even saying that we're the bad guys or the good guys. Is that even when I went to look for Ukraine, initially I already found things where they're telling their citizens to evacuate. Like on our end, we don't know that that's something that's going on if you don't proactively look into the news and know what's going on over there. But even with us not even being in these places, regardless of these scare tactics, there are governments that are telling their citizens to evacuate their homes.
And I understand that, but this is what, not even a but, because this is where I'm trying to really get to. Information is misleading. So take the situation in Ukraine, right? Because we don't live there, right? I'm saying someone who lives there could, like, because you read that article, they could have read that article and saw something different. I'm saying that they could have been like, yeah, they saying for us to evacuate the country for this reason, but that's not the real reason why we're evacuating.
Yes, but there's still the idea that, okay, even if that is the idea, would you even know that someone is telling you to leave your home because another country may be coming and harming you? No, you wouldn't even know that.
But I'm saying, my thing is that, what if that's not the reason?
Okay.
I've done no research on what's happening in Ukraine because I really just don't care. I'm saying,
but the thing is that the reason why you need to care is because of the idea of who America is. So the reason why this ends up being a conversation is that we may possibly be involved in this if something happens to Ukraine.
I understand
That's why it's starting to be more relevant. If this was something where we wasn't messing with this country or we weren't worried about the country, then it wouldn't be as relevant.
I understand that. My thing is, how do we know that you can trust information? If we all are saying that the United States lies to us, one, why wouldn't other countries lie to their citizens too?
I'm not saying, but this is the thing.
I think that I get what you're trying to say, but I'm also taking into consideration that it's information that's provided to the public, right? And the idea that we have social media, if we didn't have social media, this conversation would be irrelevant. But we have the sources, even if we're saying that we're lying, that there is things that are happening. We know that these are things are happening in other countries, and our mainstreams of media may provide it to us and most likely wouldn't because it technically doesn't involve us or we haven't touched it yet. But things are happening.
I'm not saying that they're not.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying, how can we proactively sit here and say that our country lies to us? Do we all agree with that? Our country lies to us and don't have our best interest at heart. Right?
Right.
So how can we sit here and say that about the United States, but we can't say that about another country to their citizens? So
I never said that.
Let me finish. So
saying we.
Let me finish. So
once you saying
let me finish.
But just like how you cut,
okay.
Now you're mad, but you're cutting. You've been
because
cutting everybody off this whole time, Greg. And then when it happens to you, it's something else. Once you saying we, you saying me. I never said. I never like. So when
I know
you
didn't say that. You
said we, Greg.
Because when you say. You're saying there's other things happening because you can see it on social media. You can proactively research all these things that are happening in other countries. That is what you're saying, right? Am I wrong with that?
I'm missing what you're saying.
You're saying because there is mad different outlets where you could get knowledge of information about other things that are happening, because things are happening, right? That think that we should believe that those things are happening, even though our government isn't telling us.
No, I never said that.
That's what I got from that.
You got from what? Me?
From what you saying?
What did you
things
say?
are correct me if I don't mind being wrong. I'm just saying, you said things are happening,
Yeah.
and because of social media and various outlets, you can see that these things are happening.
Yeah.
So we should believe that these things are happening.
Wait, okay. Yeah, why wouldn't you believe that?
Because sometimes a picture, a video, or article that doesn't tell the whole truth. And if you
So you do research, Greg?
and even I'm saying information is flawed.
Okay, I'm not telling you that information isn't flawed, but if you've done research and you can follow stories and you can see the evolution of something, then even if you're telling me that there's a false to it, there is some truth to it. Just like everything that is provided to us in the media, even if it may be false, there is some truth to it. Even when the whole idea of this disease came out, everyone didn't have all this information because we were waiting for the government to give us. But if we started looking back into history and how this was something that was already out there and how it has already evolved, we would know these things. But we wait for people to find this information for us to consume. But I'm telling you that if I went online and I'm looking for information and I'm already seeing things that may not always prove me right, that if we're always just banking on these news outlets to provide us with all the information, that's telling me that you're just trusting the idea that when we were getting into war, that it wasn't just about the Twin Towers. There were so many other things that were.
Of course it was.
They needed us to see a reason to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if there are little things in allegedly, and if we're understanding that, and there are rumbles already about idea that things are happening in other countries that can affect us, then these are things that we should pay attention to. We shouldn't just wait for CNN or ESPN to say something.
ESPN do report some shit.
To say something for us to be like, oh, that's happening. Because by the time that we hear that it's happening, it's already been happening. And that's all I've been trying to tell you, Greg, is that you're waiting for your commander-in-chief to say this is happening. But guess what? By the time he tells us it's happening, he's already sent the troops. They've been in there for a month and a half, and they decided that they're going to stay. Now we know. They could have been there and be like, you know what? We're okay. We're going to bring us back. But maybe he literally just called all the troops that were still chilling in Afghanistan to come home.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so the idea that they
war.
were still, I never said that that's the case, but I need you to understand that they have been literally breadcrumbing us for a while. They have been even doing little tests with us for a while. The idea that they've even allowed us to understand that we can be invaded not only by a country on a physical level possibly, but on internet level. And then we've already shown other countries that our own people can invade some of the top security places that we supposedly have. And then we come out and we see like, oh, hey, China's creating a sun. For what? We don't know. They have a sun already. But guess what? The America's just like, you can create your sun because we got snow, we got rain, we got hail. It's just like the idea that they and not only are they telling us that they're manipulating this weather, they're telling us that they're doing it for warfare. They didn't have to tell us that. They could have just told us that they were doing it for agriculture. They could have told us that they were trying to figure out how to make sure that the ozone layer doesn't. They could have told us everything else. But you want to know what they key that they told us? Keywords. That's what we built off of now is warfare. Why are you allowing us to get these keywords already in our mind? Warfare. Why are we worrying about war? Why is that something that even needs to be presented to us if that's something that we don't need to worry about?
I believe it's fear tactics, but
fear tactics and what? They already have the idea of this viral disease.
Yeah, it's always going to be something.
Okay, so you think the idea that just telling us that they're going to manipulate the weather, just like, oh, we're scared of what?
That's just that is what this country is. First off, I don't even understand why people go into deep dives about this shit where everyone lies. I think for me, this is for me personally. Once you lie to me, your credibility is shot. I'm not believing a shit like a thing you're saying anymore.
So you don't believe in yourself? You just said everybody lies.
Everybody does lie.
So you don't believe in yourself.
Of course, I believe in myself. No, I'm saying I'm talking about like in this. So we can't talk about your mom in comparison to the United States, but we could talk about myself in comparison to the United States.
I didn't compare.
You just did.
No, I didn't compare.
You say you don't believe in yourself. I'm not. Of
Based
course,
off
I'm not.
of what you just,
of course, I'm not talking about myself.
I didn't say the United States at all. I wasn't thinking about United
or
States.
the world. Let's go with the world.
Or the world at all. You just now said.
Why would I talk about? Why would I say myself?
I don't know why you would, but you just now said once a person. You just said a person lies. You weren't just specifically talking about the United States of America.
In the context of the conversation, I clearly was talking about the United States.
You just said
in the context. What are we talking about right now?
So if a person lies to you, just a regular person, are you going to trust them still?
No, I have trust issues.
That's what I'm just saying. So
but why would I not believe in myself?
Based off of what you said, everyone lies. But once a person lies to me, I don't trust them.
Do you lie to yourself?
Yes, I do.
I don't. No, I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I don't lie to myself.
Greg,
why would I lie to myself? That's called being delusional. I don't think I'm a delusional person.
Greg, you yourself told me that outside of and I want to say this to be clear. You said that I want to be real, yo. When I got the vaccine, that it wasn't just because of me saying like for health reasons, but the social pressure.
Yes.
Okay, but when you initially brought it to the attention of promoting it to everybody, it wasn't admitting. You got to, and I even said it to you, like, yo, that's crazy that you, like, I even honored you about that, like, yo, that's honorable that you came back around and said, like, yo, it was really the social pressure of
when you, Danny, and I first had the conversation about the vaccines on the pod. The first thing I said is that people are going to get this vaccine because of social pressures. That's always been my thing.
It hasn't always been your thing.
That's always been my thing.
Greg, you even okay. I mean, okay.
You can go back to the tape. That's real.
Okay. No, I feel you, bro.
I'm not even. I'm just saying. Why do we even like argue these things when we already have said that everyone lies? So even if like we're supposed to go with some truths, like damn, you said something and I wanted to go back to. You said that when you start to do research that you like some of these things, like things start to make sense. Like there's some truths in there's truths in some of the things that they're saying. So my thing is like we go by some truths.
I'm just saying based off the vagueness of what I know about the background, but as I've slowly looked into this whole idea, it makes more sense to me. I don't see why you think that, especially now in a space where the economy of America is wishy-washy. We have people that are not working. We only was able to, like, the stimulus checks were trash. And you think that at this moment in time, if the idea of war was a thing for America, that was something that they would proactively let us know that that's what they wanted to do. I don't see that.
I do.
I don't see how that would. I don't see that.
I just think I'm basing mine off of pure history. Every president that was in charge of a war has came out and said that we was going to war. I don't see why that would change now. That's just me.
Yeah, but Gigi's point, she was saying like, okay, when you believe that when the president said we're going to war, he pressed the button, then everybody just start running right after that.
That's
what
not what I
Gigi
believe.
was saying is there was already shit going on.
And I know that, and I believe that.
So why are you
I've
only
been saying,
solely mentioning the
because
president?
I said it's not a public war. It's not a war like the war in Afghanistan or like Vietnam or World War III, where there was propaganda around, where there was commercials on TV saying we're at war, where there was the president giving the State of the Address saying that we're at war. That's what I believe is not happening.
Okay.
No, I feel you, bro.
Yeah.
What's What's up? What we talking about?
I think we should go to Greg.
No, you. I am not.
UG.
We need something a little bit lighthearted.
UG.
Okay. So my topic is about ghosting. So have you guys ever? It's different parts to the question. So let me know how you want me to break it down. But maybe I'll just let you know how I question it, and then you guys answer it. So basically, for ghosting is: have you ever been ghosted? Have you ever been the person to ghost? And have you ever been in a situation where whoever was ghosted, whether it was you or the other person, where you guys either reconnected, bumped into each other?
Is that a time frame?
No. If you ghosted that person and then you guys reconnected, did you guys ever have the conversation about why you guys ghosted? So it's a 3-parter to the question.
You know what I'm saying? Wait, last time I was ghosted was like when I was a kid type of thing. Like high school.
Well, if that's your story, bro.
I don't even know. I never been ghosted. I'm not mentioning no shit when I was in high school.
You're gonna say that you've been ghosted and then not share the story.
Nah, cause that's corny. It's corny.
Okay.
Something juicy. We need juicy.
Okay. So you don't have any juice.
I know I could get juice, but it won't be juice. All right, yeah, I do have. I could if I bring it in.
Have
the context
you ghosted
like
a person?
Yes, I have.
All right, let's start there.
Yeah, I have ghosted.
Okay.
And I saw them and I just said what's up, like nothing happened.
Okay, so what made you ghost them?
You know, I'm very so much the person who like, yo, when I feel this way, I honestly don't care what you say. That type of thing. So this is the way I feel right now. I felt like that at that time, and now I don't anymore.
Oh, that sounds like F-boy.
Whatever you want to say.
I mean, at that moment, because it's just like, oh, I was feeling you, and then now I nutted, and now you're not that great now.
Came back to your senses.
Post-nut clarity. You know what?
What was I thinking? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you want to call it. Call it what you want. But,
Call it what
I
you want.
mean,
what would you call it?
I just would call it me having my own mind, and I'm not gonna switch the way I feel, the true way I honestly can. My true feelings have been exposed now, right? So I'm not gonna make an adjustment just to appease to how you feel. It's like when I see you, I see you.
Okay, so what is ghosting then? Let's define what ghosting is for y'all, and then maybe I can better understand what you're explaining to me. So what do you think ghosting
It was
is?
this one way. The energy was this.
Yeah.
And then I may have had an epiphany, or like I was just sitting there thinking at night, probably like at 2:00 in the morning or something, when I'm about to use the bathroom or something. I said, you know what? Yeah, this ain't it. Perfect words. And I just, oh snap, that's crazy. Cause I was actually, but prior to, man, these phones is connected. These phones is connected. I was just looking for this you know how sometimes you look into your old text history?
Yes.
I saw this girl that I ghosted in my recent years. I ghosted her. She said a few things that rubbed me the wrong way. I saw how she was like handling her kids, and I didn't even feel like I didn't know we didn't have sex or anything like that. But I said I don't need to explain anything to her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not gonna talk to her anymore. So I just blocked her from everything. Well, and I just went on about my business, and that was it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's you ghosting her, and then you saw her again?
Ghosted. No, I haven't. She actually texted me from another number,
Wow,
like
that's dedication.
type of thing.
Okay.
And I just didn't respond.
That
That
makes
type of thing.
Okay, and have you ever been ghosted?
The last time I was ghosted, I was probably like 19.
Okay. How you feel when you got ghosted, or do you want to tell me the story first? Tell me the story.
How did I feel?
Yeah.
I felt embarrassed.
Oh wait, tell me the story. How did you get ghosted? Like, how did you? What happened?
This is like You Got Mail America Online type shit.
Oh, so you like met the person online?
Yeah.
And then they just stopped
But
responding.
I met her online, but she actually was from Jersey City. And I saw her. I saw her like in passing. I was in somebody's car, and she acted like she didn't see me. She wrote a letter to my house without a return address, and my mom's gave me the letter. She said, "You got a letter right here." I was happy. She said that the girl name. I was happy, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She said her name, and she said, but it don't got a return address. And I was like trying to
I
like
don't know
talk.
what she wants to say.
No, but I was trying to make sense of it. Like, nah, like, you know, sometimes like things like that happen, bro.
Or
like,
she creepy as hell. How she know where you live at though?
You don't know. Cause I told her we had conversations about
safe.
that.
Don't do that no more.
Yeah. So she sent me the letter. And
What did the letter say?
It was basically saying,
hello,
no.
it's me.
No, it was basically saying, yo, don't hit me up no more.
Oh.
It was just cold turkey.
Oh.
Just cold turkey.
She wrote that all out?
Yeah, don't hit me up no more. I never said anything like sexual to her, anything like. I was trying to like really plant the seeds, like trying to be respectable and you know, pace myself with how I was speaking to the young lady, and she just completely ghosted me. But it was all gravy. You live, you learn. But now it's my turn. That type of thing.
I like that.
I do when I come through.
Greg, what's ghosting to you?
You have interaction, stop having interaction. Don't talk for a while. Like the one party is trying to reach out and you're not responding, and then you have to see that party again though.
Wait, ghosting is like you know that you're gonna see the person again.
Yeah. Because it's not ghosting if like you never see that person again.
Yeah, that's why you a ghost.
No, I think it's only that to me that's just being a fuck nigga or a fuck boy.
No, I think that makes it even more ghost because I think being a fuck boy means that you're ghosting me knowing you're going to see me again. But if I know that I'm never going to see you again, I'm a ghost. Like I'm dead. Like you won't have to ever
No, it's
see
not
me
that you
again.
know that you're going to see them again. It's just that if you see them again, you ghosted them.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a fuck boy because I think that if a fuck boy knows that they're going to see them again, that's more of a fuck boy than a person knowing that if I stop talking to you and I literally block you, I don't ever have to see you again. You'll never see me again.
Wouldn't a fuckboy be
I don't think
somebody
that's ghosting.
ducking when they see you?
I think a fuckboy is someone who doesn't really fuck with the girl, but keeps fucking with her because of the advantages of fucking with the girl. That's a fuckboy. A dog is a nigga like what you did. That's a dog move. Like a dog is gonna be a dog. He gonna do what he wanna do. You feel me?
I just don't. I don't know. I just think ghosting someone is a past tense verb, so that would mean that you would have to you've proactively gone out of your way to not see that, to not interact with that person, and happen to come across them again. So I think that's what ghosting is.
Okay, so just so we have like an example of a definition. Ghosting is the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communication. So and that's why I feel like ghosting when it comes to like not talking to you is like I won't ever communicate, see you again. But a fuckboy knows that there's a possibility we might run into the same places. Like we might know the same people. So I might stop talking to you randomly, but I know that Keisha gonna tell them that you saw me somewhere. And like it's going to come back. I think that's someone intentionally understanding that they're deciding to stop talking to you, but at the same time, they're still not gonna talk to you at all. But with that being said, that's just me having conversations about our definitions. But with your definition, Greg, have you been ghosted and have you ghosted someone?
I've not ghosted anyone. In my definition, no. I guess I haven't ghosted anyone, and I have never been ghosted. Who would ghost me? Fuck. What type of shit is that? I've never been like, who the fuck would ghost me?
Okay.
What type of shit is that?
Well, kudos to you because you've never ghosted anyone and no one has ghosted you. That makes sense to me.
I feel you.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm great. The fuck?
So we great. I ghosted people.
I don't
Absolutely.
lie. I don't lie to myself.
I've been ghosted too, and I didn't understand it. So I've ghosted, and I've been ghosted. My I've been ghosted story was that like I talked to this guy and I thought everything was being great. We were going on dates, and we didn't we lived not too close to each other. So we actually planned our weekends. It was really, really dope. But we weren't exclusive just yet. And I think it was, okay, so maybe I know why he ghosted me. That I had texted someone else, but I texted him.
Oh.
And he was just like, oh, and I was like, and then he did the same thing probably a week later. And then after that, I never heard from him again. Now, granted, he came back a few years later and tried to look for me, but he definitely just disappeared. I couldn't text him or anything, and I was like, oh, damn, we had a great time, and he never said goodbye.
No, you heard him for real. You heard him for real.
No, but he was outside
That's what
too.
that was. That's really what that was like.
I didn't even like the guy that I was texting.
So why was he texting?
Because he was just telling me that he was gonna drop off food. I was hungry.
Oh, so you was being a fuckboy?
No.
According to Khalil's definition.
How was that a fuckboy?
Because you didn't like him, but you was entertaining him to get something out of it.
No,
You
no.
know, studies
In this
say that when you look
situation,
to the
no.
left,
I
you
explained
say
to him that
something
I wasn't
wrong.
looking for a relationship, but if he wanted to talk to me and he's able to have conversation,
That's still fuckboy.
then no, it's not.
Yeah.
Just because you're transparent about it doesn't mean it's not being fuckboy.
From the nigga?
Yeah, because
Nah,
I didn't
that's
know
some
where I
fuckboy
lived at.
shit.
That apartment, I didn't have parking,
That's
so I didn't want to
equivalent to-
drive.
You're just being an honorable fuckboy.
I'ma fuck this girl, but when she asks to go on a date, I ain't gonna do it.
I never had sex with him.
But that's the flip side. You got food from the nigga.
Yeah,
It's not
and
about. It's not
he was
necessarily
really, really
about sex.
sweet.
It's just a perk.
No, we were friends.
No.
Were you?
Yeah.
It's not
If I
about
never had sex
it's
with
the
him, he
perk.
was okay with that. Yeah, we were friends.
Nah.
Mm-mm. No.
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 Mm-mm.
No. Yeah.
Because he
Fast
was
forward.
saying he was okay with it.
No. Fast forward.
He was not
Fast
okay
forward.
with it.
Things had transpired and it was trash. Shout out to you though. Oh, and he also bought the little emblem in cars. On the tire. Mine's had popped out. He had bought me a new one. So shout outs to
Yeah,
him.
he wanted to be a friend.
He was really, really
Right.
nice. He was really nice. He's really nice.
That's weird to me. No.
He was so sweet. He was a really nice guy.
Yeah, I bet he was sweet.
Yo, I thought so too. I'm not gonna lie. There was a moment where I just because at first he was never pushing up on me, you guys. It was never never tried to hold my hand but no, I didn't either. I just kind of I'm really good at I'm gonna go with the same energy. I'm not
It's a
usually
go-to
aggressor
for me.
unless I know that I want it and I'm gonna be on attack mode. But because I wasn't really on it initially, but he was just so conservative to the point where I really questioned it. I was just you're not even trying. Never tried.
You thought he was gay?
Yeah. Yeah. And then fast forward, he's not. He had a kid, y'all. And then we kind of
You got kids
reconnected.
on me, you ain't gay.
You're right. You know what? You're right. But I'm just saying that even if he's not, he would have to be bi-curious or it wouldn't just be that. He's not. I'm just saying. But anyways, and then me ghosting someone, the man was ashy. He was just ashy. And then it wasn't ashy inside. It was ashy outside. And
How are you ashy inside?
you in your house and you ashy.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick that up from that. Okay, got it.
Yeah. You inside a place and you're ashy.
I thought you was talking about his soul was dirty or Ashy.
Oh no, you
Dry.
be thinking too
Like he's
deep
a
for
dry
me.
soul.
Not that deep. No, like yeah. When being inside means if you're at home, maybe you didn't have to grab the lotion because you wanted to relax, ashy, and then you have you outside in public and ashy.
Did you tell him he was ashy?
Yeah.
What did you say?
It was the soap. He said it was the soap that he was using. It was peppermint.
So what about lotion?
That's what I said. And then
Oil? Cream?
spit at this point.
A lubricant?
And it just made me sad because I was just like, but you knew you was going to see me. Like, you planned this. You asked me out.
So how you ghost him?
I just didn't respond when he said good morning the next day.
And the next day? And the next day?
Yeah, and I just haven't said anything. I've ghosted other people too, but sometimes they're not always warranted. Sometimes it's just I don't know what to say, but there's just I've had moments where I've just ghosted people.
Are you ghosting somebody in 2022?
Am I ghosting someone in 2022?
I'm not saying actively. I'm saying
Oh no,
would
I
you?
did. I did ghost someone in 2022.
Really? That's
yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, I did. That was Ash. I couldn't deal with it. You can't go outside being ashy like that in front
That's
of people.
very surprising.
Ghost
Somebody in 2022 because you're all about transparency.
Yeah, but because at this point I realized that like if he would have asked like, "Are you not talking to me anymore?" I probably would tell him. But at this point, like for me to proactively just tell you like I'm not talking to you because you're ashy and I'm not really attracted to you, and I think that you don't really care enough about yourself to care about me in public spaces if you're trying to be with me in that sense. And even if you was trying to just have sex with me, why would you think that I wanted to have sex with somebody that's just ashy?
Why? But you don't think that information would have benefited him?
That he's ashy?
Everything you just said right now.
But I just told him that he was ashy?
No, you said way more than him just being ashy.
What?
You said you ashy, so it seemed like you don't take care of yourself. You don't take care of yourself enough that you'll be able to take care of me, or that you will care about me enough because you don't take care of yourself. You don't think that information is like it would help him out in the long run?
Yeah, if he cared enough to know.
So why not just tell him? Why ghost him?
I don't think he cared enough to know. He texted me one time. I didn't respond. Never heard from him again, so I didn't text him again. I just feel like at this point, if someone's like adamant about asking, if you're gonna be like, if you saying good morning and I don't respond, it's gonna be your end all be all. You already didn't want to have a conversation.
That's fair.
If you're ever open to having a conversation, I will tell you. But my thing is that like when it comes to ghosting, for me, and it's not healthy. I don't think ghosting is healthy, y'all. So I just want to tell you that I'm telling you the experiences that I've had, but I don't think that ghosting is healthy. I think being able to tell someone why you don't want to talk to them or why you don't want to be present with them, it just allows someone, even if they don't care enough, allows you to know that you closed your door. I think not saying anything always allows the opportunity that you can open the door again, or you are low-key like a coward. But some people don't need an explanation. Some people understand the time that it is.
I don't agree with that being a coward move. Like it can be used as a coward
could.
move, but
It's not always a coward move.
No, I don't think it's always. I'm just saying it, but it could be seen. And I don't think it. I don't
That
think it's
type of thing.
always.
it's like
Because I'm thinking about scenarios. I'm gonna think about someone that you've been talking to for 6 months. 6 months. That's a lot of your time. You even have a child, so that's even more of your time. The idea that someone spent 6 months saying that I want, and then all of a sudden, you wake up and you send a text message and it doesn't say delivered. You call and it don't even it go to voicemail, but you can't even leave a message.
well, I don't have the full context of what happened. Like,
But I'm just giving you like a brief idea of that's the idea of ghosting, is that it's not expected. Ghosting is not like, oh, two people know that this is happening. Ghosting is like, no, you was here, you was alive, and then all of a sudden you just gone.
as far as you know, he was here, he was alive. That's what you saying.
I'm saying that
far as your
ghosting
knowledge.
is relative because two people are present in a situation. Ghosting becomes a thing when one person no longer is present in this situation, and it's not notified, it's not understood. There's nothing that happened really for someone to just disappear.
To your knowledge, right?
Yes, and the idea of what ghosting is that, you know, like this Ash couldn't have been the end all be all. No, it wasn't. There was other things. You know, conversation was dry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so now we get it.
so there was other things, but it's just like at the end,
So that's what I'm saying. So if you could name different things that for you, like, you know, that was a deal breaker for me, would you say?
Yeah. Not, at that time, I get. Sure. Let's just say yes to help the conversation
So
flow.
if you're saying yeah, then there must have at some point been some sort of, I wouldn't say, just for lack of words, even for lack of words, I'm not gonna say a back and forth. That sounds even a little bit too harsh. I'm saying a level of, let's just say, even disagreement sounds too harsh. There was, and let's just say there was some level of uncomfortability.
You're asking me?
Yes.
Uncomfortable in what sense?
That was my exact words.
Yeah.
Well, not out loud at least.
Okay.
Where something rubbed you the wrong way, let's say, like, or like when it happened, you was like, okay, that's gonna be a problem for me, like,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
so when in okay, if you expected my man to answer, or at least make sure your message is delivered in a certain period of time, then that would mean you was serious about him to some degree, right? You was like, right?
No,
No.
I wasn't.
So why would you care about if his? I want to talk about that then.
What?
If you wasn't serious about him,
Yeah.
why would there be a time limit on the if I'm not serious, for me personally, I know this is your story, but just to like to share how if it was me, not getting for me not putting a timestamp on the text message being delivered if I don't necessarily care about this person. No, I want to say care about this person, not care about this person. I want to say if I'm not serious about this person.
Okay, that's cool. What I'm saying is, okay, in this scenario, we went out to eat, right? So the intentions is we go out to eat. We're supposed to hang out after. I happen to leave after instead of actually hanging out, with the intentions that, oh, maybe we'll chill again.
What was the date like?
He was ashy.
No, what was the date
He
like?
was ashy.
What happened on the date?
He took his jacket off and he was ashy. He had short sleeves on and his whole arms.
So you saying ashy. At this point, once you saw the ash, you didn't even care, everything passed?
Everything.
Well, I'm fresh out of ideas, and now
I
even
wanted to give him lotion, but then he still he tried to boo love, and I was like, sir, you might cut me. No, this is not. You're ashy.
So
you knew you was coming outside. You asked me to come outside. I was chilling.
The question is, do he think he was ashy? Did he act like? Did he know?
I told him he was ashy.
Did he believe he was ashy?
Yes. He saw there was me. Our both eyes looked at his arm.
Did he acknowledge his ash?
Yes, he did like this. It is pretty ashy.
Ooh.
I say, yeah.
I was trying to throw old boy some bill.
Was he giving you weird vibes?
It wasn't really about. It wasn't weird. I think it was.
There's something missing from this story.
What do you mean?
It has to be it just sounds like cause you saying 6 months that your
no wait don't
I think that's two different stories.
Yeah, those are two different stories. I was just giving you a scenario. No.
Okay.
No.
That's why I was
when I started talking to you,
the 6 months was when she got ghosted.
No, I was just giving you a scenario. When I got okay, maybe it could have been a 6 months one, but that when I was giving you that scenario, that was me just telling you a scenario and asking you what you would do. When I told you my stories, after I was done talking about him, I didn't assume that we were still continuing. No one said that they had a question about it, so I didn't. I just told you my stories. I was giving you a scenario about being ghosted and how, ghosting is to put a bow on it, is basically ghosting is one person know they about to leave and the other person doesn't. And so it's not like, oh, a mutual understanding that we don't want to talk to each other. Because that's a thing. Like, oh, okay, like maybe this ain't it. But there's moments where one person is still in it to win it. And the other person was just like, so this is not for me. And I'm going to go. But the only thing is that person don't say I'm going to leave. They just stop responding. They may even block you. They literally just stop communicating with you. There's no reason why. There's no, hey, here's this feedback. You are trash in this department, but great in this department, and I believe in you. Like, it's more of a just, I never spoke to you again. That's what ghosting is. And like
somebody
I said,
I used to know.
Yeah. You didn't have to cut me off. Yes.
Then I've definitely ghosted. And I want to clear something up. I have never been ghosted. I've been rejected. But I've never been ghosted.
So what's the difference?
Someone had enough respect to tell me to my face that nah. He didn't just like I text them, hey, and nothing, no response. That's never happened to me.
Shout out to you.
I'm great.
I think that I'm pretty amazing too, but that's absolutely happened to me. But I've also understand that I've had experiences where the text back probably helped me more than it helped you. So shout outs to the people that did ghost me, because they do come back.
Nah, I changed. I don't think ghosting is a good thing. Just tell the person you don't fuck with them. Give them some peace of mind. Why we gotta?
Because some people don't deserve peace of mind, and I think that sounds really, really, really far fetched. But sometimes when you've experienced someone and you can tell that their intentions are not what they have came off to be, then the idea for me to explain to you what's happening, I don't need to. Because I already know that you want some other shit, and I don't need to have to explain to you that you want some other shit. Go over there with that one. Go play the number game over there. And so I don't think that everyone is deserving of it. However, I think that in certain situations, like a 6 month, allowing someone to understand that you're investing time, like even 6 months after a job, I'm already getting insurance, and you just disappear at this point, unless it's casual. If it's casual, then is it ghosting? But if it's more of a situation where I'm checking in with you and you checking in with me, and all of a sudden you just stop responding to me.
So would you consider? Is it a positive to be called a ghoster?
Is it positive to be?
Is it a positive attribute?
It's absolutely not. The idea of being a ghoster is meaning that you are detached from the situation that you are in, and you no longer care about the person's response of you leaving.
So why would you do it to someone, even if you feel like they deserve it?
That even if you feel like they deserve it,
because you just said that I said that no one should ghost anyone. I think people should just tell people if you don't fuck with them. You said some people deserve to be ghosted, so they understand, because they pretty much they know they was on some fuck shit. So I don't need to tell them that they're on some fuck shit. So, but you're still a ghoster.
No, I just did a ghosting situation just because. That's like saying just because I did this makes me that person. No, absolutely True. Not. But if that's something that you constantly do, you make someone fall for you and you get what you want and then you leave. Yes, that is a ghost. That's a ghoster. But if there's moments in times where you feel like this situation was not warranted, and at this point that person already knew what their true intentions are, and I don't need to explain anything to you, and I hope you be great. And at any point in time, if you needed to have a conversation, I would definitely tell you about yourself. But you don't even reach out because you already knew that you was on that shit. There's nothing for me to have to reach out to you later and be like, you know what? I stopped talking to you because they're already trying to fuck my friend. Fuck that nigga. It don't matter. It don't matter. I think that the idea if someone ever spent more than 6 months with you and they decide that they didn't want to talk to you, or you found out some shit, it just, I guess it's scenario based for me. It's scenario based for me, because I have been ghosted, and I also think that rejection is a blessing. If you left, that's only because there was no other way that you were gonna have to leave me, and you just gave space for somebody else to come through. So. Thank you. I'm sad, but I'm gonna still get it done. Why are you laughing at me?
Still, that was nothing.
Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm just thinking about my situations. I ghosted people because I seen a better option.
Well, that's because you already knew what your intentions were at that moment. Right? Yeah. So it's just like it's all about intent, and at that point, and maybe their intentions was on the same vibe as you, right? And so they didn't even look for you when you ghosted. They was like, you know what? I was waiting for this nigga to leave anyway. Thank you.
Never got the text back when I ghosted.
Yeah, like they not even looking for you. Like, oh, I already saw you gone. Bye.
That shit must suck to be ghosted.
To be ghosted. Initially, it does. I'm gonna say like being a person that's that have gotten ghosted or thought that they have gotten ghosted, like you because it's not intended. It's not like you got into an argument. It's not like something like went wrong. It's not like you're even questioning. It's just you really just even checking in or doing a hello or a good morning. It don't say delivered.
I just think like the kind of person that I am, like the simp that I am, I'm somebody that wears their heart on the sleeve. If someone ghosted me, that would fuck with me. Like that would really. Once you get to know me, you know me. You don't want to ghost me. Yeah, you may not want to fuck with me. That's fine. But you are not ghosting me. So I think that shit would hurt.
I mean, sometimes, like I said, like, and I think it hurts more the ego than the situation because once they have ghosted, and I'm not saying that it don't hurt because. Especially if has been time and there's no explanation and this person just goes away, or even the idea that they come back and you'll be like, oh, no. No.
Personal experiences, huh? that was the personal experience live. She couldn't even finish it. She couldn't finish it. Instantly took it back.
Oh man, like it's different. It hit different. Because it's just like, yo, you could have said something, but you don't.
Hit different. It does.
Hit different when you
sit here
by yourself. All right, Greg, you ready?
Yeah. So, I'm a big sports person. I like football a lot, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, or follow sports news, but Brian Flores filed a lawsuit against the NFL. About their hiring practices of black coaches, saying that it's racist and they don't give black candidates a fair chance. I'm not gonna go into the details about all that, but pretty much when you because he filed this lawsuit against the NFL, it's kind of guaranteeing that he's never going to get a job in the NFL again. It's kind of like when Kaepernick took the knee or whatever, and he filed a lawsuit against the NFL, and now you don't see that nigga quarterbacking for any football team. So, go ahead. What?
I think they're aware of this. I think we're living in the times of a shift happening, right? Like in the 60s, there were black people who looked absolutely insane by sitting, in a whites only restaurant. Mm-hmm. But they had a purpose. But in that time, we're in retrospect. Was that retrospect? Retrospect would be from our own personal experience, then, right? And reflecting on something that we
believe so.
Oh well, just thinking about the images I've seen throughout history, like with blacks sitting in whites only areas at that time, they didn't look like the monarchs we hold them to be in 2022. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that time, they just was looking crazy. Like, what are you doing? You do know you're black and you sitting in the white. You know what's gonna happen to you, this and that.
Yeah.
But now we looking like
you know what's gonna happen to you.
No, I'm. Well, for me, because this is the information age versus that time, they had limited access to information. Like, so we can like reflect about any point in history. So, like now, when I look at those times compared to what's happening right now, I believe they know.
Yeah,
they know they're going to, be casted away.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. Like they know,
but they're
before even
they're
doing
trying
it.
to set a
A precedent?
wave.
Oh.
That yeah,
A
A precedent?
a precedent. Yeah. So other players can stand up. They get their money and get to a point like, man, I got bread. Like guys who have that type of mind, I got bread, and I'm gonna stand up against the NFL, and I think that's going to create change.
Look at you giving a whole promo. No, I'm playing with you. No, I agree with you. I think I could definitely see that like that's happening more and more, especially as like I think money gives you power, and when you especially like this whole even with this whole like Brian Flores situation, he filed a class action lawsuit, and when it's a class action lawsuit, that means anybody can join in to the lawsuit who has been wronged by the NFL in the same manner. So other black coaches are like joining his support in.
So that's one lawyer fee then, right?
Huh? I think so. I'm
or
not
a team
sure.
of the. I guess
it's a team of lawyers. Yeah. But it got me thinking like he's literally sacrificing his career. Like the dude is never coaching in the NFL again. He was a head coach. He's a 3-time Super Bowl winning coach. Like he has bad accolades. People respect him. But this man is never coaching in the NFL again. Let me not say never. I don't foresee him coaching in the NFL anytime soon because of this lawsuit. So it got me thinking, would you risk everything just to prove a point?
If I saw the smoke and mirrors within the structure that I always strive to be in, right? Mm-hmm. These guys in the NFL dreamed about this since they was 8 years old, 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? They always wanted to be in the NFL and to actually get there and it be like this is what it's like being here. Mm-hmm. This is what I have to deal with. Yeah, I would take that route. Especially like knowing like I have bread. I have something. It's not like I'm in the same exact place.
So it depends on the circumstance. Your circumstances.
They I believe they're aware of that. Like I wouldn't have been able to do this as soon as I got into the NFL.
For sure.
But now I have some money in my pocket. You know, I have a fan base. Yeah. You know, other ways to make money.
The circumstances allow him to, or will allow you to say, I'm going to risk it all to prove this point.
In those, if I was in that situation, like NFL specifically.
Got you.
Not saying all circumstances, but in that situation, like it's a little bit more easier for you to make that kind of move and you got bread.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Versus like in the 60s, they was just doing it off the strength. Like, cause obviously that's for a bigger purpose, you know, broadly.
Yeah.
But as far as the NFL, even though it's something that I would have been aspiring to be all my life, and now I'm actually in the NFL and they make mad money, why not like sit on that comfort or cushion of money and bet on myself?
Understand. How about you, Gigi?
Was he close to retirement?
No, not at all. He's a very young coach.
Okay. I don't want to say that
he was just the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Led them to 2 winning seasons. He got fired for no reason.
And I think that's where that was going to be my next thing, was the idea that it clearly wasn't the first route, but it made sense when he was fired. And we say it was no reason. Not saying that he actually did something, but they clearly have a reason
of course
to let him go. But understanding that makes sense to me why, if once they did and also like understand that the NFL is not just a one person show. So when they decided to let him go, they was in the boys' room having this conversation. It wasn't just one owner. Their owner is sitting and they're having these conversations. They talk to each other. So even in the idea that, okay, he gets fired, he probably already got blackballed. His avenues of him even trying to coach anywhere else was probably already taken away from him. So at this point, we're seeing him suing the NFL like he's never going to be able to play, but we probably already seen that he wasn't able to coach.
No, it was. I understand what you're saying. No, he was. Give you, I guess, full story. He was fired by the owner And the reason that Brian Flores is saying is because the owner was saying we need you to lose games so we can get a better draft pick. And he was like, I'm not coaching my team to lose. Right? So that's one allegation against the owner. But Brian Flores' bigger point is that black coaches aren't just getting opportunities. So prime example, the Giants hired a white NFL they just hired a white coach who Brian Flores interviewed for the same job. But the guy already got the job before he even interviewed, but they still held a real interview with him.
He was blackballed.
It's not. I don't think it's about being blackballed. It's this thing called the Rooney Rule, where where teams have to interview one candidate of minority before hiring a new head coach. And the thing was, the Giants had already hired this white guy, and still interviewed a black person just to fulfill the Rooney Rule.
Okay.
So it's not that it's not Brian Flores was being blackballed. It's just that black coaches are just not getting a fair shake at the tree.
Okay. So if you're saying that he's not getting blackballed and he was let go by the Dolphins and he's such a good coach and he has these accolades, why wouldn't someone immediately want to swoop him up?
Good question.
That sounds like someone that's being blackballed to me.
Allegedly,
I don't know facts.
It's usually the way NFL coaching hires go is usually based off of a tree of who you came under.
Okay.
And Flores came under he's under the Bill Belichick tree. Flores is an interesting situation mainly because he doesn't have anything against him. So what you're saying could be true. I'm not here to dispute what you said because you're right. There's no reason why that man shouldn't have a job, and he was the first. He was the highest on the head coaching list before his lawsuit. Like a lot of people thought he was going to get the Houston Texans job, but the lawsuit came and now he doesn't have a job. So I don't know. I think
because we've seen. Does anyone ever watch Ballers?
Of course.
No. So if you've seen Ballers and you can honestly see the things that could be happening in the background, and although we're saying this little cookie cutter situation and we know that there's like politics happening, people don't like people in the back, like there's all these things happening that again, this is a man that brought championships to a team, and he's now suing you guys. Clearly there's something in the back that is not, and even with the idea with the story that you're telling me that the owner,
so in this situation you would have sued?
Absolutely.
You would have risked it all?
I've already risked it by me telling the owner, because remember, the owner is not the only. The owner is having conversations with the other owners because the idea of him wanting to lose games is to be able to get a better opportunity in the draft. Yeah. And he understands that, so he's having conversations with these other owners, meaning that they're receptive to what he wants to say. Yeah. Now he goes to the coach and he tells him this. If the owners that he's talking to are already on board with what he's saying and he's not doing it, I don't want you on my team either.
I think the only reason what makes the situation for me intriguing is that he was a top candidate for 2 jobs. Like it was like they think like all the experts was like he's going to get the Houston Texans job or he's going to get I think it was the Saints job. Yeah. Like one of those jobs were his.
Yes. Statistically.
But he still filed the lawsuit before those decisions were made.
Okay.
So
no, that's what they tell us, not what we know. So I need, just like you said, he still interviewed for a job that someone else already had. That's because they already told the person that they had a job, but the paperwork technically wasn't done because they still had to fulfill this interview process.
For sure.
So what I'm telling you is that the idea, if they already know that they're not hiring him.
But that's the thing, you don't know.
No, we don't know. He knew already.
No, because want to know how he found out that the white coach was hired before he even took the interview? Another head coach told him,
and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. But I'm saying,
Greg. What if that same situation could have been the same thing in Houston, where someone was saying we're hiring Brian Flores?
Yes, and then he found out like, oh, They're not hiring.
No, but he
you.
didn't. That's what I'm saying.
You don't know that, Greg.
No, he would have said that in the law. There's a freaking 100
He
and
doesn't
something
have
page.
to because he can't prove he can't put something in a lawsuit saying that, hey, I'm gonna hire Mr. Rent Money, even though I'm interviewing Greg, because that's a lawsuit in itself. But if I already know that I was going to hire Mr. Rent Money, but in order for me to technically hire him without it being a problem, I still have to interview you. I can't say that, hey, I'm gonna interview you. But guess what? Blaze can say, yo, Greg, I just want to give you a heads up that they already gonna hire Mr. Rent Money. But they can't tell you that because they got to do this process. So in the lawsuit, on paperwork, where did you get this information? That's what they told me. There's no proof to that. There's no lawsuit in the idea that Blaze told you what was gonna happen when there's no proof that it happened. You don't got no recording. There's no paperwork. There's no dates. There's just a conversation that you were gonna get this job.
I understand that.
Okay,
and
so
that happens often.
And so that's what I'm trying to say is that just because they told you that they haven't made a decision, you're telling me this already, doesn't mean that they haven't made a decision. They haven't made a decision publicly. They've already made a decision because they already told him they ain't choose him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what makes the lawsuit interesting.
It doesn't make it interesting. He already knows they wasn't gonna choose him.
No, you're talking about the New York Giants job. That's one job.
No, I'm talking about those two jobs. That's confirmed because they already have the coach locked in. Those other two jobs.
No, but the thing was, the Giants didn't publicly say that they was hiring Brian Daboll. The way that Brian Flores found out that Brian Daboll was hired was through Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Bill Belichick texted him and said, Brian, congratulations, you got the job.
Okay.
He texted the wrong Brian.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm saying, the lawsuit came right after that text message. Like, that's when the lawsuit happened. But the thing was, what was interesting to me was that he was the leading candidate for the Houston Texans job. Like, all reports out of Houston was like from the GM, for everybody, that Brian was going to be their guy once he signed the papers. But before they even got to that point, he already filed the lawsuit. Okay. That's why I'm saying it was interesting. He had a job waiting.
Yes, that's what we heard.
My thing is, the way that Bill Belichick found out about Brian Daboll, I'm pretty sure other coaches found out about Brian Flores in Houston too. It's just that it didn't get back to him the way it got back to him about Brian Daboll. I'm saying that could have been possible too.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, he happens to have a text message.
Yeah.
That's proof. I'm saying that there could be another scenario where he already has been told.
But the way that you have your scenario, I'm saying the way that my scenario is working is both scenarios could have happened. But that's what's interesting about the lawsuit, because you don't know. Like, he didn't know. He was going off of the feeling of being fucked over by the Giants.
That's what you're saying.
No, that's what happened.
That okay, I understand what you're saying.
Because he doesn't know, because he didn't know what was going to happen with the Houston Texans job.
Okay.
There was another team. You're forgetting about the Denver Broncos. He interviewed for 2 teams.
Oh, yeah, he said John Elway showed up drunk.
Okay. Now, after 2 times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I believe that, like, you're right. Because nothing was said publicly, he could probably have not have gotten that Houston Texans job. But he doesn't know that for sure.
No, I'm telling you that I'm gonna just, because I'm only telling you not because I know anything, but just watching Ballers. I'm gonna tell you in the scenario that he has known when you're making moves. Just like when it comes to the United States, just because now you're saying it publicly doesn't mean that I haven't heard it or done it or it's already has been established. Like, they are literally having conversations. When he filed the paperwork and he did all that lawsuit, like, that wasn't just like, it was one day and he woke up and he said, I'm gonna file a lawsuit. No, there was things happening in the background. You're saying that now there's 2 teams you're telling me that there's 2 teams that he's already has interviewed for, and he knows he's not getting 2 of them already. Mm-hmm. That's publicly because they already know who they're choosing.
Well, the one with the Giants, that wasn't public. That he just happened to find out through Bill Belichick. Yes,
it wasn't public yet, right? So, but they were going to make it public. But with the Broncos, it was public.
The Broncos, like, of course they're going to tell you who's the next head coach. Brian Flores, what happened with the Broncos was that he said he showed up for the interview, and John Elway, who's the president of the Broncos, seemed to have showed up drunk.
Okay.
Like not taking him serious.
All right. So at that point, again, they knew that they weren't going to hire him.
Probably, most likely.
Okay, right. Now you have this whatever the last team is.
Mm-hmm.
He's already when he decides to make, this is how I'm saying, when he decides to make this lawsuit, he now has realized that they have decided they're not fucking with him anymore.
Okay.
It's not he has another chance, he's gonna be on another team. No, he's not playing ball. We're not playing with him. And at this point, now I'm filing a lawsuit. You're not going to have me keep wasting time interviewing, saying that I'm a coach. And y'all have already decided y'all not going to hire me for a team.
I agree.
I'm filing a lawsuit.
I agree with that. I understand. Like, I understand everything you're saying. Like, I agree with what you're saying. My thing is that because, like, even though everything that you have just said, filing that lawsuit automatically eliminates him from any other job.
But he knew that already.
And that's why I brought up the question. Would you have done that? Would you have sacrificed everything you've ever worked for to prove a point that they are fucking me over?
But in that situation, I'm not sacrificing. I'm always going to have my accolades. You cannot take that away from me.
You are sacrificed. You're never going to get the opportunity to coach in the NFL again. That's a sacrifice.
At this point, I've already established my accolades. I don't need to work in the NFL again. People are going to want to, I can work for college football teams if I wanted to. Like, I literally can just be a TED Talk speaker and tell people how I got
You don't think Brian Flores wants to be an NFL coach again?
I think that he can coach. He doesn't have to be an NFL coach. The thing is that I realize that it doesn't matter if you're in a corporation making millions of dollars. If you're not appreciated, or you feel like you're not in a space where you're valued, or they don't care about you or your growth, it doesn't matter. I need to go, and knowing that it's a whole conglomerate where it's like, this may affect me in this whole field. There's other fields that he can now be in. He's already established himself as one of the greatest coaches of all time.
But that's not his dream. His dream is to be an NFL head coach.
Okay, so, and he did that.
But now he's not going to be able to do that anymore. That's not sacrificing something?
But I think for certain people, I don't know what I would say for him.
It's a sacrifice.
He did it, but to have the mindset of why you're making the sacrifice. So at this point, the sacrifice to a certain person, maybe not to you, Greg, but to certain people, the sacrifice is actually bigger than that dream that they actually.
Is it a sacrifice? A sacrifice?
But is it a sacrifice if I already know that you've already closed the doors for me? So the idea, from what I'm getting from the scenario, is not like, oh, there's gonna be one day there's gonna be a team that's gonna be like, hey, I'm after 3 years when this blows over that he's gonna coach again. You're literally telling me to
because he doesn't know that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, Greg. You make it seem like the owners don't talk to each other or the coaches don't talk to each other.
No, you putting words in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying. What he knows publicly, what Brian Flores knows publicly, what this man, like, he's assuming. Like, that's all you can. Okay. Let me take a step back, because this is what we all usually, this is what I part from y'all. I know the coaches talk to each other.
Okay.
We all know the coaches and owners talk to each other, right? But as you said, there's no paper trail.
Okay.
There's nothing public in knowledge that says we are fucking this nigga over.
Yeah.
Right?
Why would you do that?
So, okay. So if it's not public, if it's not public knowledge to him, now it's just an assumption.
No, it's not.
It is an assumption.
No, because I can't tell you something. When I'm doing a lawsuit, I can't throw accusations that I can't prove. Because in that idea, the lawsuit gets lost into things that I can't prove than what I can prove. So when it comes to when I'm actually paying somebody to sue somebody, I'm only going based off information that I can prove, that I can take to a court of law. But if I go and I say, I know this because he said or she said something, that is not going to get me anywhere.
So me and me and Mr. Rent Money have conversations, right? We talk about mad different shit, right? But you hear that we thinking about kicking you off the show. We've never said it. We've never said it out loud. We may have said it to each other.
Wow.
We may have said it to other people.
Really?
But now you are going to be like, fuck y'all for trying to kick me off the show. But we've never said that.
Wait.
Isn't that just an assumption now?
No, because at this point,
How is that not an assumption?
because you're assuming that you're saying that hear what you said. You guys had the conversation or thought about it, but you didn't technically say it.
But
Right.
how did you? Yeah, it's an assumption on your part.
You're gonna tell me how I would know so this scenario would work?
Yeah.
Blaze would tell me.
But how does Blaze? But now you.
'Cause Blaze is
But
in the
you're
room.
you're trusting that Blaze heard it directly from our mouth, right? That we have said that we're kicking. Me and Mr. Real Money have said we're kicking Gigi off the show.
Yeah.
You got so that's not an assumption.
No.
That's hearsay.
No. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm saying. Is that I can't prove that.
Hearsay is an assumption.
That's what.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what's happening with Brian Flores.
But that's what I'm saying is though. But why does Blaze need to lie to me?
But why? Because he wants to. Who knows what his motive is?
But that's what I'm
you
saying.
You can't prove that. That's hearsay.
Can I
Okay.
add context to this story?
Okay, please. do.
Okay, so the Rooney Rule that we had previously mentioned, right? When the Rooney Rule went into effect, there were 3 black head coaches in the NFL. As of today, there is 1 black head coach. Who's the other black head coach?
Mike McDaniels in Miami.
Okay, so 2 black head coaches.
That's ridiculous.
3. It's 3. Lovie Smith, Houston.
Okay, Lovie Smith, they just got hired him. So the Rooney Rule was made so that there will be more black head coaches, and there are still the same amount of black coaches as when the Rooney Rule went into effect.
The number is ridiculous. It's like out of 128 head coach openings since the Rooney Rule, only like 20 of them have been filled by black coaches.
Wow.
I mean, yes, the shice bobbness happens. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, and what we were talking about, Flores is going off an assumption.
I need you to understand that. So you think the assumption that the text message. So you're also saying that the text message that because still it's not confirmed yet. But he's getting a text message that the congratulations.
Yeah,
it's not paperwork. They didn't say it.
That's
yet.
why he can't sue the entire NFL. He only can sue the Giants.
But that's what I'm trying to explain to you, Greg.
And the Broncos, yeah.
Is that if these are the things that he's able to prove, just think about the conversations that he was already privy to that he can't.
No, I don't disagree with you.
All right, so that's what I'm saying is that this suing that is not, he's waiting on an answer. He knows the answer.
No, I don't disagree with that.
But no,
but
you're
saying
it's not public knowledge, and it's just like for him, the only person that needs to know what's happening is him.
No,
to make the decision.
no,
yes,
that's not how that works.
Yes, if he's going to make a decision that he's going to change the idea that he would ever work for the NFL, he's already known that that opportunity already was taken away from him.
But the question remains is he is sacrificing his NFL career.
I think they already took it away.
No,
it wasn't sacrificed.
You and I guess you can say that, but you don't have any proof that no one was ever going to hire him again.
And that's why he's suing, because the idea is that
because the lawsuit was going to say that they said they never really want to hire me again, because that's never going to happen.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that I don't know why you think that the NFL doesn't put you in a position where they always try to come off like they were understanding, like they tried to make this make sense before they've made this decision. No, you literally told me to lose games so we can get the draft, and I told you no, and now I'm not working here and I can't even get a job, and I gave you rings. Why?
I don't disagree with you.
And that's what I'm saying is that you're and the idea that you don't think that people already had told him, just like in the background, that he can prove that he's not getting this job, that even if he didn't hear that he could prove that he didn't get this job, that's why he sued, he already knew he wasn't getting it.
But you realize if that ever comes up in court, besides the Giants thing, because that is hardcore proof in court. This is what will happen. One or two things, the only way this is going to go is either an owner is going to come out and say, yes, we have said this, or
why would they do that?
Or someone who is close to the owners are going to come out and say that because you, like you said, someone has had to tell him this stuff. So that person that told him would need to take the stand to prove.
They don't.
Somebody has to cooperate his story.
No, he doesn't.
Because if he Yeah, they do.
Not what he
Because
can't prove.
it becomes your word versus the owner's word.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you, Greg. That's why the lawsuit is not implicating other things that he can't prove. There's other things that has happened that he understands. What the lawsuit is about is the text message, like things that he's able to prove.
Yes.
That's what he's suing for. The things that he can't prove doesn't mean he doesn't know it. It's just he doesn't have the proof to say that this is what actually happened, because there's always someone that can be like, I don't want to say that it happened. I was just trying to look out for you.
I understand that, but by him filing this lawsuit, which he should have because he was shice bobbed, but by him filing this lawsuit against 2 NFL teams, that kind of puts a nail in his career.
Okay, so you wanted him just to retire.
No.
So what did you want him to do?
I don't care what he does. My question is, would you sacrifice everything to prove a point?
I understand what your question is, but I'm talking about in this instance, Greg. Obviously, you brought this up because of him initially. And so my thing is that if you think that what he did is wrong, what would be
I don't think what he did was wrong.
Okay.
Never said that. I think what he did is actually very admirable because he wasn't thinking about himself only. He's thinking about all the black coaches who aren't getting jobs.
Do you think that there was another route for him? Do you think that he should have waited to see?
No, I think he should have did what he did.
Okay. So for me to answer a question like that for a bigger purpose, no. But if I wasn't appreciated or I didn't see a way for me to excel or be able to be promoted or make more money, I will leave. But would I sacrifice everything? Because I don't, and that was the question that I wanted to ask before we started recording, what I wanted to ask here. Like, but when you say sacrifice everything, for him was working for the NFL, but I don't think that would ever take away from him working in football. Like, he could do coaching, little league. He could still play in that profession. He has the money in that instance, or even the money from the lawsuit that he may or may not win from that. That's where he'll be all right. So I don't think that'll really sacrifice everything.
Well, when I say sacrifice, I'm thinking like he wanted to be an NFL head coach. He's never working in the NFL again. Mr. Rent Money wants to be a producer, and someone says to him, yo, I'm making sure you're never going to get a platinum single. You're never going to make any money off your music. Like, this is never, ever happening for you.
Yeah, but at
that's
this point in
sacrificing
time,
everything.
He's already made platinum albums. He's already, like, he's been on me. Like, he has now built the whole accolade. So even if you try to take away from him, his name will still ring bells. He can literally go independent, work for whatever the...
But that's the thing. They're saying that we're taking this away from you.
Yeah.
You're not. I don't agree with that because you're not taking anything away, because contrary to what you said, I am a producer. It's just, so when you say taking it away, that would mean to believe that would lead me to believe that you believe that I believe that the title, or the title producer only comes with notoriety.
I understand.
But just like not even making him taking it personal. I'm just saying, comparing it to the NFL. Like, in this instance, this guy knows wherever he is, he's going to be a great coach.
Yeah.
So the money at this point isn't the forefront. So like Gigi said, he could be a coach.
For sure. He's always going to be a coach.
But
he's always going to be a Super Bowl winning coach. He's always
Pee Wee League, just for the love. He wants to be a coach.
Like, his title and accolades will never go away, and I understand that. But to say that, yes, I've done those things don't mean I don't have more left in me. It's like me saying I just directed or I edited this great film that just won me an Oscar, and now there's nothing. Like, if someone says, we're going to make sure that you never work in Hollywood again.
Right.
That means that I'm never going to have an opportunity to, this is probably a bad analogy because you can't stand with an Oscar, but I will never have this opportunity to win an Oscar moving forward. Same thing. So Brian Flores, yes, he can go be a college coach. He can go be a high school coach, but he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win. He wants to be a Super Bowl winning head coach, and now he will never get that.
But how do you know, Greg, that it was already told to him? And that's what I'm saying, is that, like, there's things that he's not able to say publicly because he can't prove it, right? And then that would also take away from the lawsuit. So how come you don't think that he's already been in a conversation with a few owners, and they're letting him know that we're good? Like the idea that even if he wanted to ever be an NFL player, they've already let him know we don't want you.
As much as you asking me, why don't I think he's had that conversation? Why do you think he has?
Because I feel like he felt like he was in a position where it wasn't just about, because understand that even if he feels this way, he was still a coach for a few years.
So is it fair to say that we both don't know?
I'm saying, Greg, it's what he can prove, not what he needs to say.
I understand that, but would you say that we both don't know?
What he can prove, not what he can say. That's my answer. I don't want to agree with you on that.
Okay, then I'm just going to say we don't know if he's had these conversations.
Because I think your assumption in saying that he has this possibility when we've already just seen record, and this is what he can prove, that they're not fucking with him. And now you're saying that, but there might be a possibility that team over there is going to want him.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that him fouling, think about Kaepernick, right? When Kaepernick said, I'm going to opt out of my contract. Let's all remember he had a contract with the San Francisco 49ers. He decided to opt out. When he opted out of that contract, right? Now, it's still, we don't know, but it's been assumed that owners was like, we can't have him on our team, right? Nobody's ever said it publicly, blah, 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 and I get all that. But my thing is, when Kaepernick once he couldn't get a job in the NFL, and he actively went and filed a lawsuit against the NFL for discrimination against him, that killed his NFL career. Like, there was no way he was going to be hired as a quarterback again. Because the league is not going to have that on their, like, they're not going to bring that type of publicity on his team. He sacrificed his NFL quarterback career to prove a point. No?
Didn't they still allow him?
Yeah, exactly.
But didn't they still allow him to still try out? He just chose not to. So even though he did sue, they still allowed him an opportunity to play. He just chose not to.
True.
So even though he sued, they still allowed him an opportunity to play. So that technically takes away from the idea that if you sue, you can't play again.
But you've already said, when we had this conversation about Colin Kaepernick, you said
point,
that
though.
they've already put something in place to make sure that he still wasn't going to get hired.
Yeah, but if you're using what you're saying, I'm just saying that doesn't correlate with what you're saying. You're saying that suing will say that you're never going to play. I'm saying yes. But what you're saying is that when someone sues, you're never going to be able to play. And with what you're saying is that he was provided the opportunity to still try out for a team, even with my understanding he wasn't going to get it. But they still provided him the opportunity, meaning the sue wouldn't mean that he couldn't work. Suing is just for the system. So that doesn't mean that it's sacrificing anything. It's just bringing light to something.
Well, if you win, I'm pretty sure somewhere within. Oh,
he settled with the NFL and still doesn't have a job.
Yeah, that's different. You got to. What I was about to say would be in a line with a person who actually took it to trial, like, you know, went all the way to the end. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure like there's some type of something in the agreement or docket that he has to still have he has to still be given the option to keep his job or not.
Oh, for sure.
But
like Colin Kaepernick can still be signed to any team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
unless he officially retires,
that's when you can go into like some type of racial, right?
Yeah.
Lawsuit. That's the same thing with a job though, like a regular job, right? They can't, if you get a lawsuit with the company.
Well, that's when you gotta like you're suing for hiring practices. So
I'm saying in general, like if you sue the company that you work for and you actually win, they can't fire you, right?
No, that's kind of because that's like the whistleblower kind of it's a law that protects a whistleblower, and I think you'll go under the statute of being a whistleblower.
All of these terms, when I think about all of these terms, like where they come from, why do they, you know, just in general with these names that they come up with like you just said, what's it called, the
Rooney Rule?
The Rooney Rule.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure behind the scenes they be calling them Roonies. That's the first thing I thought. Like, we got a couple Roonies.
I think the rule was named after the Steelers owner.
Whoever is named by,
The
but
Roonies.
calling them like this the Rooney rule. I don't know. It's mad different things that probably go on behind the scenes, like wild, crazy, in your face.
Oh, yeah, I believe
in your face type of stuff you see on TV. Well, what's on TV is actually copied off of real life, but I'm talking about in your face racism. Because if it's like this to the point where we, as the consumers, when I say we, I'm saying people who watch football like that, as consumers of football, just watching it on the television, we have in our minds what it may be like. Mm-hmm. But what if behind the scenes it's like really real, like in your face, like back in the days? Because we are talking about where these guys are from.
Yeah,
it's a different type of racism when you're talking about Texas and all that. Like,
that's why I like shows like House of Cards and all that stuff, where it shows all the shice bobism and politics and stuff like that. I think this stuff really does happen every day, and I think people are privy to it, and they write shows about it, they write books about it, they tell stories about it. So I think it's interesting. But to answer the question directly about would I sacrifice everything to prove a point, it would definitely depend on my circumstances. Money definitely plays a role into that. Because when I think of sacrificing, sacrificing everything. I'm saying like it is my ability to do what I have dreamed to do has been taken away through outside circumstance. So I don't. Yeah, I would need to be like, I don't know, flushed with cash or something, to where when I like try to make this point, it's not gonna hurt me. I think it's really just financially, and I guess my well being. Yeah, so if those two things aren't affected, I'm Petty Saurus Rex. Let's do this.
Well, there's as I said before, as we all know, back in the 60s, most of those people were just regular
Degulous.
That had. Like I said, this is for entertainment purposes. In the name of entertainment purposes.
What do you mean?
Right? Like, the NFL is entertainment.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you're doing all of this, yes, for the rights, but for the rights of people within this source of entertainment. Versus my point about, how it was in the 60s with apartheid and everything. I would say that was the reason why people who had regular everyday walks of life and a lot more to lose than working in the NFL as a head coach, because they had to lose their freedom, being locked up, for something that is wrong. You know what I mean? They had to get. We seen the videos of being hosed down and beat. It's a lot more on the line. You know what I'm saying? They don't really even know what the light at the end of the tunnel is. But with this, that lets me think. Okay, because there's comfortability. Is that the number one motive to be able to even make this kind of move? I think
it's definitely it has to play a role. It definitely has to play a role because like Brian Flores is the first black coach to feel this way. He can't be. It's impossible for him to be the first black coach to feel this way. But he is. If there was a black coach to do it, it's him. because of how successful he was he is in the NFL. Like, and you're right, money does play a role into that.
So is that the guy? Who was that guy from the Steelers?
Mike Tomlin. He's still
Is he doing one of the?
If he threw his support behind us, that'd be crazy. That would shift the tides in this whole lawsuit because one, he's still employed. He's another person. Like, you can't. It's impossible to fire Mike Tomlin. He's never had a losing record. He's been with the Steelers for 16 years. He's a Super Bowl head coach. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Went to 2 Super Bowls. Coaching like this nigga. That if he threw his support behind this shit, like that would be bad for those teams.
They probably got him in the pocket though.
Oh, for sure.
They got him in the pocket.
Somebody
he won a Super Bowl.
Somebody's begging him not to talk. Please,
they doing
please,
more than begging. Like,
please.
It
What
must
you want?
Be a lot of money on the line. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For everyone, it's not just about a moral type of thing, and other people, it's like, give me this money.
One of the big things in this lawsuit for Brian Flores is he's accused the Dolphins owner of saying, I will give you $100,000 for every loss you take so we can get a higher draft pick. That's going against the integrity of the game. You're telling the coach to lose so you can get a higher draft pick. He would have to sell his team.
Who? When you say he would have to,
the owner would have to sell his team.
Oh, okay.
Because that is messing with the integrity of the game.
That's a rule?
Yes, that's like betting on your own team.
That's crazy.
He would have to, like, if that is proven in the court, like if a judge says you did that shit, you gotta go, buddy. You're out of here, bucko. That's, yeah. So they probably got Mike Tomlin in the cut, like, please, nigga, please. Please, whatever you want.
Yeah, so it's 4 of them, right?
What?
4 coaches. Oh, he was within.
He was the third.
Okay.
He said, "Oh."
No, because the crazy when you said black coaches.
For the fact that you said, "Oh no, that is 4." That's only 1 more, and you was kind of excited. That's how bad it is.
No, because I was actually thinking like, yo, I do remember in the Super Bowl it was a black guy. Like, yeah. And we even talking about it's not even that. Yo, you know what would happen? The black teams would start dominating. I really did think they believe that. I believe that the NFL has been a league that's been so dominated by white people.
Wow.
That they may be intimidated or scared. And I'm not saying all white people. I'm saying the NFL, the guys that make the rules. They may be afraid that if they have too many black coaches, the potential out of teams from markets that wouldn't have normally had a great team start to flourish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's not going according to plan.
It's funny because it's happened like 3 times.
And yo, the crazy thing, I never even thought about it like that until the Steelers. Like, yo, how is it that you only got 3 and I managed to only think about one black coach? Mm-hmm. I can't even think right now in 2022. I do not watch the NFL. Don't think I was just trying to randomly like think of some NFL type shit to throw y'all off. Like, I really don't give a shit about none of that type shit. However, the first coach that I think about is the black dude from the Steelers. And it's only 3 black head coaches in the first. Well, but maybe my perception is a bit skewed because I'm black, right? I'm just trying to make it a
I
little
don't
bit
think
more
so.
level.
I think what you're
But
speaking is real.
it just seems wild. Like it's only 3. How many teams are there?
32.
It's 32. And the very first person I think that was at when did the Steelers win
The Super Bowl?
the Super Bowl?
Well, that's only one was like what 2016, 13, 14, last decade.
Okay.
It was recent.
Okay. But would you say that game, that Super Bowl game, and compare was that the
played-
black and yellow joint?
Yeah, that's when they played the Was that the Packers?
Yo,
Yeah, that was the Packers.
like that was a big deal. Brett Favre,
Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback.
but he retired that year though, right?
Yeah, Brett Favre was on the. I don't know what Brett Favre was doing.
Brett
Aaron
Favre-
Rodgers was the quarterback for the Packers at the time.
Probably Minnesota.
He had to be in Minnesota, but it was Green Bay.
Brett Favre was
Yeah.
in Minnesota. I'm just saying, like that year in the NFL was a really big year financially. Like,
For sure.
not only did the Super Bowl happen, but Wiz Khalifa and the black and yellow Steelers type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you think about that Super Bowl and probably think of a poll for the 2016 NFL Super Bowl compared to the more recent shits, where would you say that lands on like a top 10
Not too high. So I watch
compared
football.
to right now?
Yeah, I watch football. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It does. I think it's funny that you mentioned that because now I think that was the last time there was a black coach in the Super Bowl.
Wow. So there is some significance
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
What Brian Flores is doing is nothing short of commendable. Like, it's real. Like, the dude, there's just certain coaches that shouldn't, like, they're getting looked over by coaches who haven't never been a head coach or haven't even coached at all. And they're getting jobs before black people who are way more established.
They've never coached at all?
Never coached
That's
at
a great
all.
argument. That's a great argument right there. If you're saying, listen, I've been doing this so many years, and you're going to choose someone who's never had a track record.
Yeah. I think it's very
Wait,
shy
no
spot.
experience at all?
None. Josh McCown never coached anything in his life.
And you don't think that's telling you anything about
And
how
you
they
don't think
trying to
that's
play him?
suspicious?
You don't think there's anything wrong with that?
What? Wait, time out because I told you I agree with you.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I was
And you don't think that's suspicious?
you don't think that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna file a lawsuit. Now you're hiring and giving people jobs I would have trained.
Yes,
Wow.
it's insulting.
That's
I
crazy.
definitely,
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly
Now I'm
agree
suing
with you.
Now that's
But it makes,
that's
but
a whole different level of disrespect.
the thing that I'm saying to you is that there's a reason why he's only suing the Giants
Because
and
he
the
can prove
Broncos.
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying because he can prove
and
it.
that's what I'm trying to. The only thing I was trying to tell you is that there are things that he knows and he's privy to, but he cannot prove because of the conversations that him telling certain things would have to bring other people in. They would have to confirm, right?
Yeah.
But if I have it like in a text message, like there's nothing that they can do on their end.
sure.
And that's what I'm saying is that, like, yes, the lawsuit is based off this, but the lawsuit was based off so much other shit that was happening. He just doesn't have the paperwork to prove that it was happening.
And I don't disagree with that. But my whole argument about that is just that once you decide to go against anybody in NFL, that just ruins your entire career.
But again, like I said, you say that, but it doesn't take away from the opportunity, quote unquote, right? So yes, it puts the damper on where no one wants to hire you technically because you are clearly a nuisance to this organization. However, if in that settlement says that you still have the opportunity to play, the opportunity is still provided to you.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna get it.
See, then that goes back to why he's suing, because he knows that. So,
Yeah, I'm not saying that he doesn't know that.
okay.
I'm not saying that he doesn't know that. It's just that that's stuff that you gotta prove or whatever. But yeah, sacrifice everything, people.
Yeah.
Would you do it? It depends.
Yeah, it really depends for me. But if I know that I wasn't in a place that I was appreciated, and I've tried, and I have been in a situation like that, um, I've been in a situation like that already. And so when you know your worth, especially when you realize that you're worth and you've seen that you are able to establish these accolades and you're looking for more, or you're going into these different spaces and you're just like, I want to do these different things and get these different opportunities, and you realize like they're like, no. What do you mean no? Like, I've literally proven myself to tell you that I can do these things, and then they tell you no. And when you realize that there's this glass ceiling where you can see it, but there's nothing else that you can do, and now you're in this organization where, yes, like you said, when it comes to NFL, he may not be able to coach any longer. So at this point in time, he needs to get his money. He needs to get the money for the time that he would have been able to coach teams.
I guess the way I should have phrased it was, yes, you're right. He does need to get his money. He does need to be compensated for not being appreciated. But I'm thinking in the back of his mind, like, he wants to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. And now that opportunity is probably not going to happen.
But he's done that already.
No, as a defensive coordinator, not as a head coach.
Okay. And I think that that's okay. I think that if the opportunity was already taken away from him, the suing is happening because they've already let him know, without really letting him know, that you're not going to be able to play for us anymore.
I understand that, but I still think that's a sacrifice. Only on the basis of, it is like, as much as we know it's not he say she say, he say she say, it's he say she say.
Okay. I guess you could understand it, but what if it was told to you, but you still can't say that you heard it? Because there's no proof that it was actually saying.
That would be me still sacrificing, because I can't, like, there's nothing, like, even though it's been said to me that, yes, they're saying, Greg, you're never going to be a head coach again, and I understand that, like, you are saying this to me, and this is the truth, because there's nothing that I can do but whistle blow it and say, I was told this, and now I'm going to sue. It's still a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice because it's hearsay. I think that's what it comes down to. It's hearsay.
But you're saying sacrifice, meaning that, like, I'm doing this, losing it all, but they already taken it away from me. So how am I sacrificing something that was already taken away from me? Because you are. I know you don't agree with it, but it's an assumption that they took it away from you. But how is it an assumption if I know that they've told me that I'm not going to work here?
Because the assumption, when I say assumption, or no, I'm gonna keep with the word assumption.
Because if you're saying assumption, you're saying that he's filing this lawsuit because he's assuming that he'll never be able to play already, so he's gonna sue them.
Yeah.
You're not saying, knowing that he's already shown you what he can prove, what he has.
I'm sorry. Legally. That's honestly what's happening. So
you're saying legally.
Yeah, legally. That's honestly what's happening.
Like, that's why.
But you don't know what he has, and everyone else who's.
No, we do know what he has. That's only suing 2 teams.
No, what I'm talking about was documented. What he can prove. What dates? I don't believe that they would go to court without some dates, documents, something to back up what I don't think they're just going in there. Let's just see what could happen. We don't know. We don't have any type.
Of course not. He's going in there prepared. Like, I honestly think he could win. Like, I honestly think he can. But the fact of the matter is that even if he does win, no NFL team is going to hire him.
But no NFL team was hiring him. That's why he sued. It's just like when someone gets when you realize that you're in a department and you're not getting hired or promoted, and you're like, why? What's happening? And then all of a sudden you start seeing people that's never coached before get positions that you were privy to supposed to be getting, and you start realizing that they are not going to let you coach anymore. I think that was the purpose. Yeah, at this point in time, now I realize I'm at home, and I realize that there are 7 teams that I probably already know that need me, want me, been asking for me, and now this has happened, and it's crickets now. Even my peoples that know the peoples is just like, it's dry. They are not looking for you. I'm calling a lawyer now. I'm calling a lawyer. You've taken away any opportunity that I would have had. So sacrificing, I already sacrificed by saying no. The sacrifice was never this lawsuit. The sacrifice was telling the owner that I wasn't going to do what he wanted me to do. And now I'm telling people that you asked me to do it. That was the sacrifice. But me suing, that wasn't the sacrifice. He already lost it all when he told them what he wasn't going to do.
I disagree. I think the sacrifice is the lawsuit because, like, you can keep saying, like, someone
Why
has told...
Why don't you think that other teams think that they do that?
What do you mean?
Intentionally lose games so they can make sure that they get a certain thing in the draft.
No, they do. It's called tanking.
Okay, so that means that there's coaches that are okay with that and they know that they do that.
Of course.
Okay.
But you can't, and this is where it becomes he say. You can't say that publicly. No owner and no coach is going to come out and say, I was incentivized to lose.
Well, if it's in their best interest, like if in this case, it would be if you're white, right?
I honestly don't know who would want that on their record because your record follows you. But sure, I think a white person does have a better chance.
We're talking about the very few black people, which are most of them, like you said, 3 of them, right?
3 of them,
and he's the only one who hasn't. What's the guy name?
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores is the only one who hasn't. Well, that's.
I would say the only thing that this proves that theory is like in the NBA, Sam Hinkie, he was the GM for the Sixers, and they kept tanking year after year after year to get higher draft picks. He was fired, and he hasn't been working in the NBA since. And I think one could assume that the owner was on board with this. Keep losing. Don't try to win. We're not going to build a team until we get enough high draft picks. But Sam Hinkie still doesn't have a job in the NBA. So that's one thing that this I guess this proves that theory or whatever. And we could wrap this up.
But he still but he didn't. But the thing is that he did something wrong. He intentionally knew that he was losing games.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's known knowledge. So who technically in the public knows? Why would I want a coach on the team that I'm rooting for that deliberately throws games because of money?
Because the owner told him to?
Yes, but even as a fan, why would I want that coach on my team now?
I agree.
So even with that, so that's a different situation from Brian Flores because.
But the owner could see that as loyalty too.
But it's not even about the owner at this point. It's public knowledge to the fans of football in general. Why do I want that coach to even coach my team?
Well, let me say this about the Miami Dolphins allegations. Nothing's been proven. It's just Brian Flores' word against the owner's word. So I'm not going to put that on the owner that he said for him to do that. I don't think Brian Flores will make that accusation and go to court without having some kind of proof. So, but when I like to think that I'm a fair person waiting to the courts settle that. But if that was to happen, that dude got to sell his team. I just think I just believe if your dream is to do something and something prevents you from doing your dream, and you have proof of to disband that establishment because you know that you are being fucked over, but you know that as soon as you was to out this thing or out this organization, you're making a sacrifice. Because now you're never going to be able to do you're never going to be able to achieve that dream in the fashion that you thought you was going to be able to.
Just because it wasn't in the fashion that you didn't know. I guess it would just depend on who you're speaking to, like I said before.
For sure.
Because just because it's not in the fashion that you wanted it to doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be the worst thing, or even that doesn't mean it's going to be worse than what you actually wanted. It may actually be more gratifying to a person to know that they will be a part of Black history.
For sure.
You know, even and I don't want to solely compare this to, you know, even like Jackie Robinson. that was still like even like the Jackie Robinson comparison is still. I mean, this is for our time, but it's not hitting. It doesn't hit the same exact.
Of course
way.
not.
Like with that, like he was spat on and all types of crazy madness. But the context, the reason why, I this is wrong. At the end of the day, both parties are saying this is wrong, and I want to do something about it. And we living in the presence of this historic moment.
Yeah. Cool. I did not enter it again.
I am Mr. Rent Money, and this is the segment of the show where I express my conspiracy theory. So today we're going to be talking about Project Blue Screen. Has anyone ever heard of Project Blue Screen? No. So Project Blue Screen has been a conspiracy that has been bubbling since like the 40s, 50s type of thing. And it came from all of these government cited or government proven or what would you say, sightings of aliens that were confirmed by the government. And Project Blue Screen is a conspiracy, a common conspiracy theorist that says that there will be a simulated alien invasion, or like a simulated coming of Christ to be the introduction to some type of antichrist type of thing, like saying that Christ is back, literally, like some type of projection in the air saying that this is Christ, and then showing a human being saying that they are God, and using this invasive form of video projections to, like you said, project fear and control into the people. So there would be a mass of people who actually believe, a large mass, I would say, who would believe. This is the conspiracy theory. I'm just speaking conspiracies, but there would be a large mass of people who actually believe that when they see this projectile image of an alien invasion or the coming of Christ, that this would be that, or that would be basically ultimate control over the earth as we know it. Like if a crazy amount of people actually believe that what they are seeing is real, no matter how many people look at the internet and see this,
it would have to exceed the level of a cult.
Right. You literally turn into a religion, type of thing. If enough people believe it.
It's kind of what the Book of Eli is about. You ever seen the Book of Eli?
Yeah, I've seen the Book of Eli, but kind of
instead of a projection, it was the Bible.
Yes, I was going to speak to that. Like instead of using something else, they use the Bible itself to control. Well, go back to that. That's how it was in slavery time. They just took the Bible and said, we're gonna use this to manipulate.
I feel like that's how most of the world is even controlled. Like
manipulate the people, but I can see something like that happening. Like both examples. Just based off of what you said, Greg, based off of what you said.
What I said?
That the government uses
fear
to control the people. So imagine if, we hear some type of, now if we talking about a projection of an invasive projection of Christ in the sky, then I'm pretty sure there would be weather control involved, like, some thunderstorm, and then all of a sudden, abruptly, if we got to the point where weather control was a lot more sophisticated than it is right now, being able to abruptly change the weather, like it's literally thunderstorming, blah, 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 like
sunny.
crazy, and then all of a sudden it's sunny. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
This is like the one time I'm like stumped because I can see both. Like, I can see the conspiracy theory happening for sure because people are stupid. I'm a firm believer that people are inherently stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can also see it not working only because of the world we live in with choices. So let's say that there is a Jesus projection up there, right? If that Jesus don't look like something that we all think Jesus looked like, somebody's gonna be like, hell no.
But that's actually a part of the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Like when you see all of the images, they're always, this is the where the conspiracy comes in, where people are just saying the what's the guy name, that the white guy image with that robe that's perfectly drawn, that's coming down on the side, and he's standing like this, and he got the long and the white skin and the blue eyes, that type of joint. That's the one that we knew.
That's what we know Jesus to be.
Like that's the American image. We don't see the.
But you don't think Jesus looked like that?
Of course I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is actually concurring with what you said. If it's not the image that we know it, when I say we, this is the image that has been promoted.
Got it.
For years, it's been, of course I know how Jesus looks. He looks like that. Not based off of what the Bible says, but based off of what propaganda has portrayed.
Western civilization.
Right. Thank you. Western civilization has Western civilization. Wherever it comes from, Western civilization subscribe to this image of Jesus as we know it.
Yeah. So,
and that's what they saying will show up in the sky.
Yeah, and as I'm saying, like if that thing was to happen, well, one, there's so many religions. Let me tell you how this conspiracy theory could work. Now, if you tell me that this blue screen or this figure, right, looks like whatever we want it to look like, so we can believe that is what we needed to believe, I could see that working. Like, they say it's Jesus, but what I see and what you see are two different things, but we're seeing the same, like we're seeing the same thing. Physically, I should say. We're seeing the same physical thing, but we're seeing different features on it.
So, wait, so I don't understand, but why would that be the only reason?
Because then nobody's arguing about saying, that nigga ain't Jesus.
But they will, because then you also have to understand that we're in the image of social media. So someone's describing him like, but that's not what I see.
Oh, damn.
And then we're like, oh, there's someone describing him like, but I would say that.
What's believable would actually be, in alignment with what the Bible say. Right?
But some people still wouldn't believe in that.
I'm saying what's documented. As we know it, there are no documents of a Bible, no matter what denomination, saying that Jesus is white folk.
I understand that, but there's different iterations of the Bible that describe what Jesus looks differently.
Even in a different sense, there's no one that you can pull up where it's not dark skin. Some type of color. There's no. Pull it up.
I don't know. I can't
pull it
you.
up. I've seen a bunch of different denominations of Christianity, and there's always,
I'm curious,
dark skin. The
one that I'm familiar with,
I've
is
never
the
even
one
heard of anything
skin of
other,
copper and hair of wool. That's the one I'm familiar with.
Right. But no matter what denomination you pull up, it has to do with bronze, copper color, that type of vibe.
I just think because there's different iterations of the Bible, people can make up their own.
Even with that, you know, I hear people saying that, and I get it. But if you read multiple, I can't think of one version of a Bible where I read like it was just something totally different. Like, what are we even talking about here? Like, because the last Bible is always very relative to the time. It just switches with, like, we're not saying wherefore thou, like, things that are commonly said.
Revelations 1 verse 14 and through 15, the King James version says, his head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as flame as fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as sound like many waters. So what I'm saying is, like, somebody could just only take verse 14 from the King James version and get white folk.
Wow.
They say his feet were burnt like.
If they only go by verse 14, where it says his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as flame of fire.
We're talking about someone who's aged. Jesus aged not in the way we know it, but Jesus at the time was 33. Now you're talking about gray hair, like wisdom, like
sure.
Been around for mad long. So now his hair.
But you see how logical you're thinking? People don't think that way. People will read white like wool, white as snow, white folk.
We talking about hair. No matter if you're black, white, brown, orange, blue, yellow, your hair is gonna turn white if you live long enough.
That's logically thinking, and I don't disagree with you.
Oh, you saying just hearing those
people would hear
words,
these words and say white folk.
Okay.
Or even if they didn't hear the words in the Western civilization, they whitewashed everything. So even in the idea that even if they did say, because if you look at other versions of the Bible and you even hear about his hair, like it changes, that it could be someone that's not white. But if the idea that if I could market this version and a lot of religions are receptive to it and they use that to put into their churches, then guess what? Jesus is now a white man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that conspiracy, like, I can see both happen. I really can. I can see people like really falling for some dumb shit like that, but I can also see people like rebelling against it too.
Imagine the alien invasion joint though. That seems like so easy.
What you mean?
To get that off.
Hell yeah, it is. I think so.
The alien invasion. Just think about the large mass of people who, contrary to people who don't believe in aliens, that actually do. To go outside and not only see something that is clearly the image of an alien that we know it from movies, but you hearing like
you ever heard you ever seen the movie when Mars Attacks?
Yeah.
So before that was a movie, that was just a broadcast over the radio, and it was so well done. People really thought that we were being invaded by aliens. Like, people was listening to it and petrified. Like, oh my God, these niggas are here to get us.
But there were like documented sightings of aliens. Like, you can look these things up, and that's where the validity comes from with the.
Yeah, so that and combined with this high production audio sound of, oh my God, they're coming to get us. Oh my God, they're like, niggas was scared out their mind.
Imagine hearing something so crystal clear with technology so crystal clear that it will sound like it's
spatial
in your
audio
ear, and you in your crib, and it sound like you got headphones and it's right there. Like something wild like
Yo,
that.
niggas
Right?
are I think niggas will commit suicide or some shit. That shit sounds scary as hell.
Wait a minute.
You just hear that jiggy in your ear.
You hearing an alien attack and spatial audio. You hear that shit from all over the place. Hell yeah.
Something crazy, right? Hearing that in your ear, right?
Oh man.
Oh no, thank you.
Okay. Yo. This was an episode.
Absolutely.
So we're at New Dialogue, and you know this part of the show we just break up some random things that we think is interesting, and we're just gonna have like a little rapid fire conversation about it. Yeah. So I can start. South Park. Gotta give it up to the writers for South Park, man. They are making all of the world problems seem very fucking stupid. And I think it's hilarious. If you haven't checked out the new season of South Park, you should really do it. I'll give you one example. The first episode is called Pajama Day. And people are in an uproar about wearing their pajamas. They're relating pajamas to mask. Right? So,
Okay.
to the point where somebody had came to work in their regular work clothes and everybody else is in pajamas. They was like, you don't care about what's going on in the world. And he was like, I just thought that I could just wear regular business clothes to a business place. And they was like, no, you don't care about what's happening in this world. You see all of us wearing our pajamas and you want to wear a suit. Yo, check that shit out. Shout out to South Park, because that shit is hilarious. And it just makes all of the shit that we arguing and thinking about pointless. So, New Dialogue is definitely South Park.
Shout out to that. That sounds like.
Yeah. You want me to go, G?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So check this out, man. If you got something that you're working on, put it out. Put it out. Time is now. Don't keep putting it to the side. Put it out, yo. Whatever you working on. You trying to sell t-shirts. You trying to sell cookies. You trying to take pictures for people. Put it out. Put yourself out there. Make yourself available. Make it happen right now. It's your time. And it's not even really much to say about that, because it starts with you actually just doing it.
Big facts.
Just doing it. You got the resources. You looking over the resources. The resources are right in front of your face, and all you have to do is just use them. You know, sometimes, most of the time, many times, we overlook the resources that are right in front of our faces. Our friends, our family, who are all really good experts at what it is that we're actually outsourcing for. We got people that are in close range that know exactly. They know what they're talking about when it comes to the thing that you're looking for, but you're overlooking the people who are right in front of you to help you make things happen. To help you make things happen. You want this dream or aspiration, you want this goal to be accomplished, and you got people around you to help. Sometimes you don't even need the help. You don't even need to hire someone. You might just need to just open your mouth. Oh, pause. And speak to. That was crazy. You might just need,
I didn't say it.
but I said you. I said you might just. I ain't say me.
Yo, but just to piggyback off of that, even if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. Like, I understand you don't put out shit. I'm not encouraging putting out shit. But everything is not going to be the scenario, the situation. Things are not going to be perfect. When we started this pod, nothing was perfect.
Right.
Some of our audio sounded like shit. We didn't have a theme. We didn't have nothing. But look where we at now. So, do that shit.
Yo, look, and just thinking about that, yo. We have something that we can say. We can look at somebody, we can speak to someone who may just be starting a podcast, and show them where we came from.
Big facts.
Like we actually have somewhere where we started. You know what I'm saying? And look at where we are. Look at what just a conversation with Greg, Mr. Rent Money, and G to the G.
Say that.
Hey, look, we here, man. We here. We've come a long way. Seriously, man. Give us a round of applause. Seriously.
Yeah.
And consistency is key. Yes.
Yeah, when you start, don't just do once and then like go away. Nah, be consistent in your shit.
Yes.
That's good that you said that, Greg.
Be consistent.
Once you get to a point, once you start, stop, you definitely would never get anywhere. Just start and don't stop. Look at the numbers. Start looking at those numbers and you start adding up. 1 episode, 10 episodes turn into 30 episodes, 30. And before you know it, you know what I'm saying? We really just getting started. But we've been consistent.
You just never know. Don't stop unless it's absolutely necessary.
Consistency.
Absolutely. My turn. So my new dialogue, y'all, is actually Shan from She Gets It Pod. You guys can follow her on Twitter at She Gets It Pod. You can find her on your podcast platforms at She Gets It Pod. She's a podcaster that has invited me on to numerous episodes for her. Her content is amazing. She has numerous channels. She's on different episodes, has different shows, even has a whole podcast. If you're ready to start doing podcasts and here's a journal for you to be great, like she's just amazing. And
She was good too.
I just want to say that she's actually someone that has allowed me into these podcast rooms because she's been doing this for a little bit and she believed in me, and so I definitely want to shout outs to her and just have y'all tap into her episodes. She has something for everyone. She's on different networks as well. She's an entrepreneur, she's a mom, she's a worker. She's dope.
She's funny on Twitter.
She's dope. I was previously on an episode with her which will come out in March, but I'll just give you like an idea about some of the topics. We were talking about hydrating your lady areas, as well as the nerve endings of a man's intimate areas, as well as keeping it clean and sensual ways that you don't know that your partner has. I'll give you a teaser. Your stomach. Have you ever let anyone just kind of like rub against your stomach?
Yes.
It feels different.
It feels ticklish. Don't do no shit.
And it's different when it's not like a idea where I'm trying to like
soft. It gotta be some soft hands, not some like
it's
rough
like
shit or like
a light kind of brush up against the skin, giving you a sensation, because like, usually you're the only person that will rub on your stomach. You usually rub on it like if you're taking a shower or if your stomach hurt. But just imagine that you're just laid back and someone like just pays attention to just that area and then even like plays with your belly button. It's a different sensation. It's different. But that's just one of the things that we were able to like just share about being intimate with always having, without always just having to be intimate. So it was a really dope episode. So that is definitely one of my new dialogue is shout out to you, Shambo. You my girl. And she's a dope podcaster, absolutely.
And she's beautiful and funny on Twitter.
Yeah,
and beautiful.
she's dope. She's dope. And she's a great mom.
From what I see on Twitter, she's very beautiful and funny on Twitter.
Shan is dope. So I'm even looking for her to be on our pod at some point. Shan, I'm gonna be texting you soon. But with that being said, what are y'all? Why y'all laughing at?
No, he not laughing at you in particular.
What, you just laughing at?
Nothing.
I'm yelling at Shannon. She might not hear this. Or?
No.
Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you, girl.
Stop calling me girl. My name's Gigi.
Woman. Gigi.
Oh, that's a heads up, because I would have probably said that somewhere.
You gonna call me girl?
Like, not in the sense of like degrading you as a woman, calling you a
Give me an
little
example
girl.
of what you would do. Like, would you be like,
Like how I just did?
Like, move, girl.
no, that's different. I understand.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the same
No,
thing.
no.
So in what context were you referring
I was just
to?
saying, I'm not talking to you, girl.
No.
Oh, so you saying don't do it in a condescending way?
He knows my name.
You're right. I do.
No doubt.
Yeah. Take how you want to take it. And with that being said, it's over. Matter of fact, we probably overtime.
Yeah.
You good? You good? Okay. All right. So with that being said, thank you so much for spending this time with us. I think this is probably a long episode, you guys, because we've missed each other. It's been a minute since we were able to record, and I think we're just getting it all out. We had really great topics. We had a dope time. We was outside. And with that being said, Greg, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
Find me on Twitter. Oh, no, follow the pod on Twitter and Instagram at @justtheconvo_pod. Tap into some of the conversations that we post. Promise you we will talk back. And if you want to talk to me directly, because I'm great and I know that you're just itching to talk to me, I'm on Twitter at Gregisms with a Z.
That could be bed bugs or a rash or eczema. So also, if you're itching to talk to Greg, definitely check out your doctors just to make sure that it's not contagious. It's okay. And Mr. Rentmoney, you want to let them know how they can find you?
Yeah, Google me.
All right, well, let him talk, Greg.
Mr. Rentmoney.
Right? Can you tell him to relax?
He already sees it. It's the
He gets so
awkwardness.
excited, especially if you're not like him. No.
It's the same
Go ahead.
thing.
I'm like, you need to go on a commercial at this point. Google needs to fund
Google
you.
me. Mr. Rentmoney. Google me.
All right.
See, and I get how it sounds, but it's like it's a
I think it's dope.
No, like when you say Google me, it still like alludes to the time when I was speaking to the people who may think I was trying to be pompous or whatever,
Yeah.
or just saying some shit because it sounds cool, but that's the quickest way I could say it. I wrap it
And
up.
when you Google, you nothing else pops up but you. That's
Literally.
dope.
All right. I know. I
You
respect
Google
that.
me, I'm not gonna pop up. The fuck? That shit dope.
All right, that was I respect
not
that. I
going.
respect that. Okay, so, all right, so Google him, everyone. And Blaze, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hop up.
You want me to tell him?
Yeah.
Pause.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can find me at Blaze versus your mom on Twitter. Yeah, I'll be out there.
See,
About to
never
call
know.
What?
Never know.
I
Sound
don't-
like the fuzz.
Okay. And everyone, thank you. You can find me on Twitter at gcarly7, and that's GQARLY and the number 7. I be outside in these Twitter streets, and I love conversations and supporting people and just getting thought-provoking tweets off. I love it. Or following it or retweeting it. That's a thing. So, and with that being said, my amazing individuals, if you forgot today, if someone didn't tell you today, if you realized last week we wasn't here, but today we gave you some time today, just know that we want all of you to go be great.
G-R.
Rent money.